Let's see here. In my right hand, Neil,
Why
you
are
gave.
you reading this?
Well, let me just read this.
Are you sure it's your right hand, not your left hand?
Yeah, in my right hand,
Sure. Sure.
a
about that?
bag of
Caramels.
caramels.
Yum.
Is that what they
I
call
mean-
the drugs now?
The drugs.
Let me reading the ingredient list.
You realize
Mohamed, how many have you had already?
None. What are you talking about?
The opinions expressed in the following are those of its participants and do not necessarily reflect those of the producers and the Six Talk Podcast Network. Also, the following contains mature material and mild language, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Discretion is advised.
caffeine, and it's generally more accessible and can enter your bloodstream really quickly. The only problem with caffeine is you can't absorb it through your skin.
The real question is
It's
how do you
your
feel about donuts, Neil?
Let-
How do you feel about the donuts? All these donuts in front
If
of
they had,
us
like
now.
caffeine patches, that would be the best.
Well, I guess I get the feeling they'll be thinking about something like that as we move on.
They're like caffeine eye drops.
I know they've got caffeine makeup for under your eyes.
Do they?
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah,
They do. I think Gerard Butler was hawking it some years ago.
Who? What?
No, something like that. Anyway, the tradition in Japan before and after the New Year. Before the New Year, you greet when you say Happy New Year to somebody.
I thought you choked old people with mochi.
Well, that could that could probably
Isn't
happen.
that a traditional thing? You find an old relative you dislike, give them a big pile of mochi, and stand back.
And hope for the best, right?
It's like a look out, Grandma.
The tradition in Japan is to wish everybody a safe crossing into the new year. Yoi otoshi o umukai kudasai, right? That's what I said a couple weeks ago. After the new year, you wish them, you congratulate them for crossing successfully into the new year. Akimashite omedetou gozaimasu. Good evening from Toronto and the 6 Point Studio as we, on this, what is this? Friday evening, January 18th, as we start taping for episode 7 of the Anime Roundtable version 2. Mike Nicolas sitting in the captain's chair. And just for fun, because this is the New Year's episode, 5 of us are here. 5 of us.
Is that good luck?
I have no clue what to expect.
5 points of a star, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and remember, when you two talk, you have to
Yes, that's right.
Put-
We are
face
now
yourself-
sharing a
Do it in
mic.
unison?
Oh no, they're one person basically now.
Like
Better
twins.
5 than 4.
Well, let's go around the table.
me.
Straight ahead of me, Neil Sinclair. He's back for after 6 months, and boy, his timing seems to be really good. We'll talk about that in a sec. On my immediate right, James Austin, and then Mohamed, Sharmarke, Kevin Ng. They're sitting diagonally straight ahead to my right, and they're going to be sharing a mic. You know, kind of looking like. They're going to be sharing a mic, looking like, George, John Paul, George, and Ringo. Which two Beatles had the habit of sharing the microphone on those performances, Neil? Remember those videos? You know, they always performed. They like 2 of the Beatles shared a mic.
What are you talking about?
I know I'm dating myself right away.
It's like
just
the
by
man,
making
with, like the man with 2 brains, maybe,
Something
or
like that.
or
We're definitely not going for
Watermelon
the younger
Man.
crowd now, are we?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, now I'm dating myself saying all that.
I supposedly saw the Beatles perform when I was extremely young, as in like
Extremely
1
young.
or something.
I mean, as in extremely
I
young.
too apparently saw Michael Jackson when he, came through.
Yeah.
What? Came through.
That's a little too much.
I should clarify that. I'm not going to.
Did you get Selman?
The caramels are taking effect, aren't they?
And
The caramels are taking
we
effect
go.
already. Well, okay, so quickly, it's been like since the summer. First of all, you're always the Neil. Whenever you appear on this show, you're always the harbinger of bad weather. Last time it was like a humidex of in the mid 30s when you and Mohamed showed up for that in that July episode. And
Elder
now,
Mohamed.
yeah, the elder Mohamed. And then you're here tonight ahead of a big snowstorm that's set for this for the GTA.
Minus 17 or minus 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that's
Minus
before
40 windshield.
before the wind chill.
Well, it is winter, right? They're trying to
we're
remind us.
We're having apparently, depending on where you are in the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area, go further west, you'll see more. You'll see more snow, but there is a snowstorm set for the Toronto area tomorrow on Saturday. And depending on where you are, further west, as I said, the more it could be. When we're talking, we could be talking like somewhere between 15 and 20 centimeters out if you go further west, like into Burlington and Hamilton. To the American listeners, both of them, how many inches is that?
About 2 inches.
Really?
No.
So I think
What
I would
did
say
he
I would say I would say
Was
probably
it 20 centimeters? Like
It's
what, 10 inches?
2.5.
So like 8 inches.
8 to 10 inches, I suppose.
Sure.
There was snow this morning. There was a lot of snow this morning.
Depending on where you are.
But does it like disappear by like mid-afternoon?
Yeah.
Well, it's just a sprinkling. Like you saw some like.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Yes,
I'm forgetting.
and
I feel like
this is going to be the this is going to be
today.
this is going to be the dilemma about having both Moh and Kevin sharing the mic. They have to face it as they speak.
It's gonna be tough sharing you, right, Mike?
Oh boy. Well, as I said, it's the New Year's. It's a New Year's thing for tonight.
So basically, the Japanese traditional thing to say on New Year's is "See you on the other side, motherfucker." is that correct?
I'm not Japanese.
Or "I'll see you in hell," and then
Well,
the next time
considering
Welcome to hell.
welcome to hell.
well, considering
Every New Year, welcome to
considering
hell.
the metaphors we often see in anime, that may not be off.
It can't be helped.
Can't be helped.
be
Georgia and I can't be helped, right? Well, first of all, how you feeling after all the dental surgery?
I'm gonna have more dental surgery. That's how I feel.
Way to go.
And I have like
Well, we've talked about this a little bit on the phone.
Yeah, it's like
'Cause-
the thing they pulled out, and now they put like a thing in, and then it's.
I know
sit
because you're getting an
around for-
implant like I faced a few
I'm getting
years
an
ago.
implant. I'm not
Which like
A tooth
this
implant.
side of the back, so that's good because I don't have this like chuckle fuck hillbilly grin. So it was in the front, but still, yeah.
like what's that costing you?
Oh, a lot.
Shit.
Yeah, we're talking
Yeah.
4 figures.
And this was actually a root canal too. So originally, that's thrown away more
This
money.
is like because years ago I had a root canal as well, like when I was a kid. So
Did you get an implant on your root canal tooth?
yes,
too? Oh,
that
man.
was like 3-4 years ago. 3-4 years.
I didn't
ago.
know it was this-
That's why
yeah,
I can relate
yeah.
to what you're going
So
through.
if you get a root canal, you have to get an implant.
No. If you get a root canal, they don't guarantee it's going to last.
And that's there's let's above 50% chance you could see you will eventually need an implant. I wouldn't say it's an inevitability, but yeah, it's above it's a reasonable possibility.
Well, this one I felt like a phantom pain thing going on with it ever since the thing was done. So I always had an ache in that tooth. This is the only, now that it's totally gone. I'm feeling nothing, obviously, but
In my case, it was like just an unnatural look to my gums in that area.
well,
that
that
sounds
sounds lovely. No, I have 2 other root canals, and they are fine. They are Jim dandy, yeah. But this thing always caused problems. So
It's
I don't know.
but so when you're facing the implant,
Maybe another 4 months, 5 months.
Plus, like the healing time will take a while.
Yeah, that will. Well,
that's why
yeah.
hence that's why they give the time. That's why the gap.
And I'm supposed to, and I've been putting off getting a mouth guard. But now, of course, I can't get a mouth guard because I got a giant gaping hole in my face. And yeah, so I wait for a little bit longer for that too, and then
That fucking sucks, bro.
it does.
So there's the
I'm waiting.
scenarios we're
I'm
looking
waiting
at.
for like nanotechnology. There's also I was reading this article about how injecting stem cells into basically root canals, and that would sort of foster development of nerves.
So you can like regrow teeth.
Theoretically.
It's like that South Park, That dude who ate the Christopher Reeves with the stem cells.
Oh yeah, no, exactly.
Like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Just have to crack those babies open.
Like Mohammed's gonna like
Suck 'em
every
dry,
time he has to say something to Neil, he has to like lean away from Neil. So
He's talking about eating babies. So of course he's going to lean away from me.
wait, okay, so
Oh, did you see that helpful hint I posted on Facebook?
Which one?
It was basically...
which means no, probably.
it was Jeffrey Dahmer talking
Oh,
about...
yes.
Yeah, how tattoos made people taste bad.
Yes.
Yeah. Just
So you know when
Cooking
eating
hint.
eating something, just make sure
it's natural.
well,
yeah.
no, if you're gonna eat meat of any sort, just make sure you don't go in the branded area. I'm just saying. Okay, what are you looking at?
See, I don't know what the image is for this tweet. All I know is that one sentence. So in my mind, I'm thinking it could mean literally anything.
All right, what's the tweet say for starters?
You want to read it?
You do it.
Okay. So Donald Trump just tweeted.
Wait, really?
Just
Really?
a son who loves his dad. Nice! Exclamation point.
Nice. He could be talking about his father, who was like an exploitive racist, or his grandfather, who's a KKK member, or maybe his dumb idiot son.
There's an image attached to this tweet that I've not seen yet. This is a notification. I am now opening this up, and we're gonna see this image together.
Cool if it was Jesus. Oh. That would be the best. Oh no.
Oh shit!
And the image is
It's a video of him talking about being president or something. I don't know.
Something. It's young Trump.
No, so his son tweeted out a video of his dad on a talk show. I don't know, man. It's
Is that the one where he says he could eat a baby in the middle of Times Square and no one would stop him?
or shoot somebody.
Or shoot
I think
somebody
it
or
was about
whatever,
shooting.
yeah.
Yeah.
he was on Oprah.
See, what would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies.
Oh,
Forgetting
boy.
about the enemies. The enemies you can't talk to so easily. I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the
was
next
years
number
ago.
of years with this country because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade.
Well, this fits
You
in with
go to
my
Japan right now and try to sell
Japan
something.
paranoia, yeah.
Forget about it. It's almost
This was like the
How
80s,
long
right?
ago?
They don't have
Yeah.
laws against it. They just make it
Early
impossible.
90s, late 80s.
Well,
that's
the
when it-
tone of the voice suggests he's much younger.
And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk.
They should make the cars and then pay us.
Would you ever?
Probably not. But I do get tired of seeing the country ripped
Why
off.
would you not?
I just don't think.
How long is this
I really have
clip?
the inclination
Oh, shit,
to do
like
it.
10
I love
seconds?
what I'm doing. I
10 more?
really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
but you know, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country.
I can hear it. I can hear this clearly, but I'm pretty sure the listeners won't. So we might put if you send me the link.
We'll add it to the notes.
I also
We can
love
add that. We
Doug
can add that.
Ford going to the auto show too. There's something.
Oh boy.
Like all with everything that's happening with them, like come on, man, that's like bad taste.
Obviously,
Anyway.
it was of the carbon tax. Yeah.
Oh
guy.
boy. Well, yeah. It's been a hell of a week, hasn't it?
You know, I live in Etobicoke North. He's my counselor.
So see,
Oh,
you're right
this
next
was
to
his area.
the dollar
You mean
of your
MPP,
brew.
remember.
Yeah,
This was his area.
absolutely.
This was his area. So I mean,
It can't be good beer.
I mean,
There's no
like
way.
I said, this is we're like way back at Anime North. I mentioned this is the key, like the Ford stronghold. The west end of Toronto is the big stronghold. The area around the Anime North area is
Absolutely.
he holds his the Ford family holds the Ford family holds their rallies there. 2 years ago, like in 2017, the Conservative Leadership Convention happened there, and
And then they had
where
another
Andrew Scheer-
convention for them a few years before
Well,
that.
yeah,
So,
I mean, like it's been like
Isn't
that's
that where he bought his conservative membership or leadership? Bought the
Who's to
leadership.
say? There's issues with. Well, looking back, I know that my understanding is there were many issues about having it on the same weekend as Anime North. Like it may have messed up the way the vote ultimately went.
All those anime fans who could have voted against him.
Something to that effect, anyway. But
I could have changed the world, but I was LARPing.
The stories are
Damn.
fairly. The stories, I know that like they're probably almost stuff of urban legend now, and that's 2 years later, almost 2 years later.
Well, they seemed happy with all the press they got. Good press for Anime North. They just told people, don't be an idiot, because if you are, then you're not welcome at the convention.
Which convention?
Yeah,
Could mean both. You never know.
it's just as I said, it was it was fairly paradoxical, and I know they like profiled one guy who went to both conventions. I think
he voted for.
he
I
voted
remember that
cosplay. I think.
Yeah, he
voted in cosplay. So he made his conservative vote for the leadership in cosplay. I think if I remember.
Yeah, I
that
wanted to
article
say,
correct.
what was it, Chemical Friends? Or I can't remember. It was an interesting cosplay. Let's put it that way. They definitely, as he said, are like, are you in the right place?
Well, it's like showing up for the OJ trial in your Starfleet uniform. That happened too.
But the only thing was they had to
Well,
rejig.
that sounds more like a Michael Jackson trial.
But from my memory, the only thing they had to rejig was the big events because they were in the second building and that's where they did
Well, that's the
opening
story.
ceremonies
Is your mind
and
blown,
anime
or-
hell and stuff
No,
like that.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Oh, by the way, Moh, you're all right?
Yeah, I'm good. man.
Okay,
I'm good.
cool.
I'm good.
How many
Yeah,
have
someone
had?
actually showed up.
Like,
for
none
the
of-
trial
none of the-
wearing-
none of the
they're
caramel-
proudly wearing their Starfleet uniform.
Now the caramel's kicked in yet?
It's one of those things where like you think that would happen more often if time traveling was a thing. That like you think I don't want to repeat it, but you know what I mean. Like, you think it'd happen more often.
I saw Towering Inferno the other day, and it had OJ in it, and I thought, if we could bring him forward in time and show him himself, what would he do anything differently? You know, would he be horrified? Would he,
Interesting. Oh, well, that's an interesting thought.
So I've got other things now to do with time travel as opposed to just, like, fuck with the Amish and stuff.
Can't believe you're going to make O.J. Simpson stick to
man.
football. It's like he'll win his Super Bowl.
Oh, boy. Okay, so,
Was there any anime news there, Mike?
yeah, should we... I mean, I'm trying to, like, where do we start?
Crunchyroll.
Yeah. Well, let's start the Crunchyroll stuff.
Oh, no!
Wait, what's he
Did we
looking at
put
now?
that
What's he
up there,
looking at now?
Mike?
Oh, I'm just on Twitter. Sorry.
I just look on stuff on Twitter.
Sorry. I'm just on Twitter.
Oh, so I'm just gonna quickly say this: Space Battleship Yamato 2199 and 2202 are now on Funimation's website. So now
Okay.
all is well in the world.
Yes,
After
yes,
everything
right.
that
I thought they were doing
Beyond
Blu-ray DVD
after
releases
all the
of
talk,
those,
after
weren't
all
they?
that
Because I
talk-
saw
Oh,
some
thank
coming
God.
out for March and that.
After all that talk...
Part two, I think. Oh wait, yeah, I know 2202. is
It better
coming
be
out
part
soon.
2.
well, after all the talk we had...
Exactly.
I
But you
it's
can
like-
still get the physical.
Well,
If you don't want-
I guess we should follow up on everything because that was a major sticking point for you in the whole Funimation Crunchyroll thing.
Yeah, because it was.
like your single favorite thing.
It's one of my favorite shows now. So
It was so good.
it's so good. Like
Well, I know you'd be into this.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, why are we all wearing glasses on this side and you're not wearing glasses on this side?
Yeah,
Because I got laser surgery. You,
got
guys didn't.
Yeah, the room's divided. Anyway,
Against lasers.
segregation.
Right?
yes. Okay, so let's. Well, go ahead. Like, I mean, I know you'd be into Yamato too. So
Well, we never really knew the reason why, but I know last time I was here, I was thinking that it may have been Voyager's fault why Funimation had to take that stuff down and wouldn't re-upload it back, but I'm assuming they worked something out.
Voyager?
Are you sure it
They
isn't like
Is in
certain
Star
series?
Trek Voyager?
Story like of Voyager Entertainment,
Oh, okay. I was
like
confused.
the people who like have the rights to Star Blazers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of like Funimation got the license. Like certain ones, while the deal was in place, it was between Crunchy and Funny, but some of them Funny got before, like Drifters, for example. So that one is more directly on Funny. You know what I mean? So I thought it might have been one of those situations.
I suspect they sub-licensed it from Voyager, but I don't know, to be honest.
A lot of them you never know because a lot of weird sub licenses go around, especially in the English language with the North American distributor sub licensing, obviously to Australia, to Mad Men and them, or even to the UK for Manga UK and all that. So it's always
Who
interesting.
knows?
It's a mystery web, isn't it?
well, I'll tell you. See, here's how it went. Like, I mean, I since I'll never get a chance to see Yamato, Or maybe I
Well,
will.
you never get a chance.
No, I mean,
Sit down tonight.
This can
Are you
this can
dying? What's
happen,
happening?
Mike. This
Just
can
go
happen.
on the
You can make dreams
internet.
come true.
I will
Go-
gladly sit down with someone and show them $21.99.
at some point.
fantastic show.
I'm trying to get through like some of the stuff I've just actually started to decide to watch. And for reference, the whole Crunchyroll thing, and I talked with you at length, James, just before the New Year, as when I made my when I subscribed. The thing was, we knew that there would be a price increase, a $10 per year, $10 annual. Like you can buy a subscription one year.
What was the price increase from?
It was from 60 to 70 Canadian. So $59.99 to $69.99, and within a couple days of getting, or within a week of subscribing, I got the email saying, "Yeah, we're gonna."
Yeah,
like,
jack it
make
up. I guess because I talked to him about getting an email saying, okay, you're locked in for this one, but the next time you're going to be jacked up.
Next time, yeah, and for present customers who will face re-up before July, you're fine. You're fine, but after July, any re-ups after July 1st or something to that effect will be at the new price. Mm-hmm. So I opted to subscribe just before the new year.
Is it like a thing now? Because I know Netflix just increased their prices. As
Yes.
well.
Oh yes,
In Canada
let's go.
and the
and
US.
and they announced
Yeah.
this
Like-
week that the price increases. Yeah, they announced that the price increases for Canada a month or so ago, a few months ago. They announced the price increases in the States this week. So, which, by the way, the optic on that, which is not a great optic because
Well, they have some bad optics. We know about footage in some of their series, but that's across media.
Oh, that's come on.
And then
Yeah, the
there's
Lockwood
in
NT.
their annual report, you know who their greatest foe is? Fortnite.
They had their earnings.
Did you know
report.
that's how they're going to lose if they don't
They're
get
more
that
worried-
money?
They're more
lose.
worried about Fortnite than other streaming services.
Why would they
that's-
be worried about Fortnite of all
They
things?
talk about eyeballs, so they're getting
All
more
they have
eyeballs.
to do
basically.
is make an animated Fortnite series, and those
I was
people
gonna
will
say
eat that shit
or
up.
or somehow get Netflix to play inside of Fortnite.
Get their own team.
Yeah, do that or something. You know, like when you
Basically,
play-
we know Epic is like, yes, because they just launched their store and all that, and it's
so
like
stupid,
just free
too.
adguess.
Well, it's just I
Log
guess
on,
it's
get
just
the free game, shut it
I
down,
guess
never
it's
use
just
it again for
because of
another
the
month.
whole. I guess it's just because of the demographic. I'm guessing
yeah,
it's just that it has
the
more to
younger
do with the
demographic, and all of them want the
Hey,
young
Mike, do you have
demographic, right?
Fortnite on your?
No,
Okay.
no, not
But
that
what,
big a
what is
player.
the magical demographic?
You
I
are
think
better
it's like
for
18
it,
to
Mike.
49 or something like that. It's like,
18 upward, 1835, I believe
yeah,
it is.
1835. Yeah.
So there's that, and for reference, Crunchyroll, and then the first shows the first two shows I'm watching on Crunchyroll now with the subscription. One was your recommendation, Battle Spaceship Tiramisu. The fuck is that?
5 minutes
the-
of straight up strangeness.
See, this is what
It's so short.
and this is the maddening part. This is the part that makes the whole the subscription worth it, because in Canada you get ads and then more ads
And then they take it away from you?
and then basically that
Battleship Tiramisu.
yeah, and then basically that's the and honestly speaking, that's like the amount of time you have to amount of ads you have to sit through. You basically sat through the entire 7-minute episode of Battle Space.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's the maddening part
Did
about
I
having
tell
to
you
do
that I watched some of Roger's on-demand streaming of South Park, and there were like 25 commercials?
I
don't get that.
and
How
I
does
believe
that-
that to be a possible.
I don't understand why they do that. CTV does the same. Sorry, CTV does the same thing with their online thing. I'm like, what the hell?
It's
Yeah, because
they
they're
don't-
CTV
It isn't even
vintage
the
stuff.
opening first. They show the disclaimer, the badly portrayed.
Yeah.
Then they hit you with a commercial block. Then they have the opening credits, and they hit you with more commercials. And it's like, what the holy fuck?
That's basically it. That's basically watching.
You see more
Tiramisu.
commercials than you do. The episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically more.
remember
Forget episode, story, and filler, commercials, and just
I can
episode.
download.
That's why they got rid
the
of
episode-
openings and closings in most North American shows.
Wait,
Like they kept on cutting content.
But
to
Mike,
get more
if you subscribe, wait, you're talking about these ads on Crunchyroll?
Back
on
then,
Ro-
before.
on
Oh,
Rogers.
before,
Yeah.
okay.
Before.
I was
I
thinking.
mean, it's why I
I
stopped
was
watching
thinking
it.
that'd be yeah.
This was the reason I tried to watch it before I subscribed,
Yeah.
and I couldn't because
No.
of that.
Yeah, no, I totally. CBC has an interesting streaming plan.
Yes, their gem
What's it
plan,
called?
but
Oh, the gem. Yeah.
Yeah, where you basically watch commercials or subscribe and don't get any commercials, and that's great Because I mean,
But how
I'll
bad
take
are the
that.
commercial? How bad?
It's not bad at all.
I know
It's not
that
bad at all.
Crave is doing like kind of a live TV package too, so that's something.
Yeah, with their we talked about how they bundle HBO and Showtime
Yeah,
into
TMN
their-
and stuff like that.
the former TMN. So
But how much do you pay if you want to actually see, Netflix original and HBO?
Keep
How
in
much
mind-
is that altogether? Like, that's an insane amount.
it could be, yeah. Well, when you add it all up,
Yeah.
and this is where the dilemma starts to come with all these streaming services, right?
You can just do like one of those IPTV boxes or something.
Yeah,
If we have
I've got
to,
this
right?
thing called MuTorrent. Version
Well,
3.1.
but it does
Don't go any
lead-
higher.
It does lead. It does come back down to where the other thing we mentioned back in December that pirating has seen an uptick. BitTorrent has seen an uptick lately.
At this point, like I said with South Park, I would rather download an episode in like less than 5 minutes.
They're so small.
They're so small, and it takes like I can go
80 megs. I'm like, how do you get them so small?
I can go to the bathroom, come out, it's fully downloaded, I put it on a USB, take it out to the TV because I want to see it on a bigger screen.
Exactly.
And that's more that tiny
that's-
amount of effort is more worth it to me than actually going to the Rogers On Demand service, looking for South Park, finding
might be-
South Park,
for all
and then
I know-
watching an hour worth of commercials.
From all I know, that may be more
Don't you
time.
be a
effort.
Rogers customer to get access to that
Yep.
Rogers, so you're already paying to be
Yep.
in that wall. And
Yep.
that's messed up. That's messed up.
I don't understand
That's so
it.
messed up.
It's frustrating. It makes me want to scream. FX late at night is strange because they will only show like one commercial. Sometimes, or they'll show two, and they will cut off something just slightly at the end. It's the weirdest thing because you get up to get like a glass of water, and all of a sudden it's back on. You're like running into the living room. It's like, what the hell just happened?
I miss those days trying to time those 2 minutes to do whatever you need during the commercials and come back just in time.
It's okay sometimes. It's fine sometimes, but I can't do it all the time anymore. I have to watch 6 episodes of something.
What are you looking at?
Was there
I got new
something over
headphones.
there?
Yeah, we'll talk
Oh,
about the
okay.
headphones later. So there's that. Okay, that's the one show. And Tiramisu, fun watch.
I find tiramisu
After
is
watching, like-
hot-blooded.
Yeah, for
that's
some
what it
reason it
is.
feels like a
Gundam?
Gundam meets Excel Saga.
Yeah, that's pretty
Sometimes,
sort
yeah.
of.
Yeah, it's certainly quite bizarre. Fun. I mean, it's a nice way to wake up in the morning. Because I watch an episode before I get ready to work, or 1 or 2 episodes before I get ready to work. Hey, 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
I like the
15 minutes.
I like the pop-up video version of what's
Excel
this?
Saga?
Excel
Excel
Saga.
Saga?
Yeah, that was nice.
I think it fucked up a lot of DVD players in the process too.
Stop it now! Yeah.
So, second show I've been watching, and Kevin knows it. I mentioned it to Kevin. Toradora. I watched
Okay,
Toradora.
yeah.
I've been watching Toradora. So I'm like 9-10 episodes into that.
So it's still
And I'll tell
on
you-
there. That's interesting, given that NIS went out of the anime field, so a lot of their things have
But
been
it's still there.
expiring.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean?
I will see. Here's the thing, and I'll tell you why why I started watching this, and I think I told Kevin this story as well. If you remember in the monologue in the On My Mind I did just before the New Year, I mentioned a whole load of I recommended a couple of videos. So one of the things I mentioned was like a concert they did, like a concert that was done, highlights from a concert done in Shanghai from King Records put on, the soundtrack people. One of the performances was from Yuri Horie, who's in Toradora. She performed, and she also performed the closing theme song.
I realize I'm nodding. And
Yes,
that's
which
useless.
you have no
Absolutely
clue. And I'll
useless.
tell you what, I'll show during the break. I'll show you a version of the video, the actual music video to the song.
I'm just saying
And
that
I just
my
thought-
response to you is absolutely
Well,
useless on a podcast.
I'm just saying why I did it that way, because you sometimes like I go sometimes if you are if you're familiar with the work or you meet an artist, you become a fan of that. You are intrigued by them enough that you'll actually watch something they've been in.
Oh yeah, no, very much.
So
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Yui Horie we became familiar with because she played Naru in Love Hina. She played Toru in Fruits Basket, in the original Fruits Basket. Obviously, she won't in the upcoming version.
That's another story.
We got time after the bullets.
I don't have a lot of opinions on it.
That's called a bullet. If you don't have a lot of it, that's a bullet. That's what bullets are for.
Yeah.
The gunshot thing.
No, dude. Okay, give me a thought. Give me a thought. Give me a thought. Give me a thought, because we're getting your take on stuff we've talked about.
I think that it's one of those situations where enough time has passed that there can be a relaunch. I don't know. Do you remember when they did that with Lum?
They did?
Like there's like a modern retake on Lum where everyone has cell phones.
Really?
Oh, it's atrocious.
Is this one of those OVAs for
It might
Yatsura?
be. It might be. I've only seen like one clip of it, and I was just like, I don't think this is not meant for me.
It's kind of funny because the only one I know about them relaunching was the manga. Viz is giving another run of Yoritsei Yatsura.
Really?
Yep.
Yep, it's starting in Omnibus next month,
As
February.
in they're reprinting it?
Nope, they are redoing it straight from scratch.
Viz.
Because remember, it only got two volumes in the 90s. Remember? By Viz.
Oh, I don't know. I seem to remember.
And they were the
all
flipped ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
remember
because
they were
it's going to be unflipped and everything.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
cool.
so 2-in-1 Omnibus
Okay.
February.
So you're okay with this? Like, you're at peace with it. Peace isn't really the word, but you're just
You don't have
indifferent.
to worry. It's it's coming up.
I don't.
It sounds like indifference, at least.
There are remakes that I don't like, and there are remakes that possibly should be done. And this is with, I think, anime, movies, and everything else.
Oh, everything. Like, I mean, recasting Magnum PI.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that's awful.
It's like, where's the stash? It's like, you can't have
the hat? What about that hat?
Well, he still has the hat.
I can't believe it just came out like that. I was trying for a reasoned response. That's crap. MacGyver's crap. They should stop.
It's Hawaii 5-0 crap. It's
Yes. Also, Hawaii 5-0's crap, and any crossovers between them is crap.
Oh, yeah, the CBS universe.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
It's the
because
CBS
all of them,
universe.
like, what was it? NCIS and all that.
Does that mean they're going to encounter, Discovery sometime soon? Is that CBS?
No.
Is that?
Well, it is.
I don't
Star
know.
Trek?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's CBS.
Yeah,
it is.
CBS.
Oh, yeah, that's on their
They could have a
podcast.
Magnum Discovery
Are you
crossover.
watching Discovery by any chance?
I hated
Season
the first
premiere.
season. I
Season
really don't
premieres
like
this
the main character. This season?
Wait, which main character? The girl?
Michael, yeah.
Oh.
Michael's-
I like
No,
Michael. I like everyone else. They're all good.
They're icky. I like Pike. I saw the first season.
Was Pike the
He's the boop from the original series.
Oh.
Wheelchair booping around.
Yep.
Like that. What the hell was that?
It's Mike's laptop.
No, it's not the laptop.
Oh,
So it came from somewhere anyway.
but what I don't like about Discovery is these. First of all, a lot of the camera shots.
Yeah, it's really like J.J. Abrams'
And-
new style.
Yeah.
A lot of tilted angles.
A lot
and
of
shit.
tilted angles and the whole cinematic experience.
Yep.
The
Flares and shit.
It's a TV show, not a movie,
the
right?
Blur-O-Vision pod race in the first episode of
no
the second.
idea.
Yeah.
No
Did
idea.
you see the second episode
I
or
haven't
the first episode? Sorry.
I haven't seen the first episode yet.
Okay. Pike's nice. I like the revised, somewhat JJ-ish original series uniforms, and I wish he forced everybody on Discovery to wear them because that'd be hilarious. And I don't know. I don't like the technological jarring you get. These are not the ships are not the ships you would see here. I mean, they look more technologically updated than the next generation stuff. I like Enterprise though, so I mean,
To each his own.
yeah.
It's just weird. Well, they announced Michelle Yeoh's they're gonna spin that
Section
off.
30.
I'm actually kind of looking forward. That seems kind of cool. Black Ops, Star Trek type.
Yeah,
series,
but they were fanatical, xenophobic Black Ops people by Deep Space Nine. They were all
That's
like,
true.
humans first, everyone else can, yeah.
That's true.
And it just seemed like a little over the top. The animated thing. I'm up for the animated thing. And I like the idea of their side treks, although I wish they could do that across the spectrum of all of the Star Treks.
Yeah.
And Harry Mudd. Harry Mudd is the best character.
Oh, that's Rainn Wilson's character,
Yeah,
right?
he's the best.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's. I would say I would rank him basically the best character for Discovery, with whoever is playing Pike as the second. And I don't know. Introducing Spock with a beard is confusing. He hasn't shown up yet.
Okay.
But he's going to show up and he's going to have a beard. Nice. So doesn't that mean he's the evil Spock?
Oh, maybe this is the evil universe.
Oh, I hate that too. They could have done that so much better.
I still have to watch this.
Oh, I don't like their.
Yeah, I know. We're just spoiling everything for you guys. It's all
Go,
good.
way to go! And
Now you can never watch it.
I could just. Well, the thing is, I could
This
just
is going to
use
be
my
his
dad's.
excuse.
Yeah, to subscribe to something else again.
I talked about it. I can't.
I mean, I can just use a family password anyway, and then just use on Crave as well. I mean, that's another bunch of.
I can give you my
services.
Rogers.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm good.
Okay.
So there's but Toradora, okay.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing I can say about it is it's fairly run of the mill, but it sounds like it could try and get a little bit deeper.
It was a product of its time. So.
It was a product of its time, and we're talking almost 10 years ago now, right?
But there's still relevance now since Seven Seas is now releasing the light novel,
novels,
the original
yes.
light novel, because they had it originally a decade ago when they were going to launch, and then they gave up on it so soon because I guess no one was buying light novels at that point. But now, I can't remember, there are quite a few in. And it is finished, so...
Which one is this?
Toradora, the light novel, and that they're
yeah.
releasing it now. Seven Seas
Yeah,
is
so I
releasing
thought
it finally
it
for
was-
real this time.
Yeah, and I think at least 4 volumes are out already.
Yeah, it's
So-
not that long. I think it's like, 12 volumes
10.
or something like 10?
10.
10?
I started looking it up. It's not a bad watch. It's just more just getting re-familiar with stuff. And we're talking, as I said, stuff 10 years ago.
It should get better for you later on.
I'm still giving that more of a watch. So at least I've gotten my feet a little wet. So up to the ankle, water up to the ankles now, right? But I'll tell you one maddening part of this, and just from exploring it. You're right, James. Sometimes you have to go through explore or navigate it through a PC, through a Mac or a PC, through a computer. You can't really do it on apps.
Yeah, I can't really come to do it on the apps because it's like one line stuff like that. I like it on the PC where I can scroll down and it's like there's like a row of 5 for each row or something. I don't know.
It isn't just that, and it's one specific title,
and
this
you
is
can search easier. It feels.
Oh yes, it's easier to search on the computer, and sometimes you won't get results only on the computer.
Well, that's like if you use the extended Netflix search app on the computer.
Yes,
too.
it's something to that effect. But here's my little nugget, and it's a title that, if you listen to version 1, we made fun of all the time. School Days.
Oh.
I just on a whim, I decided to put it, just because I knew it was there, tried to find School Days on the app, on my iPad, on my phone. It didn't show up. In the computer, it did. Put in my queue. Still doesn't show up in the app. But it shows up. It shows up in the queue on my computer.
Now, which was that? Which
That's
device were you
confusing.
using for the?
Viz does this with some of their manga
Yes.
too.
Yeah. No, but I found it kind of weird. Might be a
The reason why I say that, like,
because
I was wondering
any iOS or tvOS device. So Android. So I presumably it probably happens with Android. So mobile devices.
because I was thinking more of the Apple and that because I know Sentai with High Dive, they had an issue with Monster Girls and stuff like
wait.
that, where they had to pull some of their content because it was too mature for Apple. So
it
since
could
you
be
said
something like
since you
this.
said School Days, I'm like, I
Apple
wonder if
has
that's a
issues with
little
Monster
too.
Girls?
It could be, and I guess that
There's
could,
some weird things going on with the Apple thing, and then
do
other
either of you
devices are fine.
Do either of
and-
you have anything on Crunchyroll? I have the Crunchyroll app in there.
So I don't watch Crunchyroll through the app. I only watch it on the computer.
Okay. So, because I'm wondering if we went Android and looked and put in and entered School Days, what would you get?
Because I'm doing it through video game consoles, and I know it showed up because
And
I
it
had
showed
my
up on
queue.
video game consoles.
Yeah, and that was either it was Xbox and PS4. So.
Then that's a thought, because you're right. Kind of like Tumblr, almost like Tumblr a few months ago. So it's entirely possible that there's a block specific
Were
to.
you looking for porn on Tumblr? Or?
No, that's what happened. No, because what's the story on Tumblr again?
There's no more porn on Tumblr.
They're going.
Yeah, there's
through
no
a
more
purge.
adult. I think the Apple took off the app because of adult content.
Take a look.
You want me to try?
Yeah, go for it.
Can only imagine
I forgot my
how
password.
angry my Fujoshi friends
come on.
were when
Give me a
that
sec, give me a
happened.
sec.
It's all good. It's all good.
All right, give me a sec. He's asking. I'll lend. I'll end. We're
It's like
gonna.
DeviantArt's weird ass rules on what is considered.
All right, we're gonna do an
not.
experiment. Having said all of this, we're gonna do an experiment as we do this. I'm gonna Moh has loaded up his he doesn't have a regular account, but I do. So, and he just loaded up the Crunchyroll app. So
It's
let
just
me
a
try
sneaky
this.
way to get his password on your app, isn't it?
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Mike might hear this.
I thought that's why you guys gave him the caramels.
Keep in mind, I'll probably change the password later on.
Got it?
Sure, I'll take it.
Meanwhile, the others have donuts. Okay, so just for fun, I will.
You have a strange way of having fun, Mike.
Oh,
Just to let you know.
it does show up.
See?
School Days does show up on an Android version of the app, so it could be an Apple
Can we
thing.
put like a nuclear sound effect or something?
Well,
But yeah, but it was weird because I know High Dive, for example, they had issues on the Apple side, but on the Android side they were fine, and that's when they were starting out. Like they
interesting.
only have so many devices.
That's an interesting.
That was made more light of than I haven't heard as much from the Crunchyroll. So it's definitely on other.
I'm pretty sure
streams.
and which leads to what could be a fascinating. Here, let me log you out.
What was the issue? So like this, it wasn't showing up in.
It wasn't showing up on Apple devices.
Yeah, they're different blocks and stuff like that. It feels like they've been doing.
It's still the same data. It's still the same.
It sounds very bizarre, but
like, why would it not show up? Is it like some kind of specific thing that says don't show this anime on iPhone devices? Like,
well, keep in mind, we all remember the content of School Days too.
This is so weird because Apple was founded by a man who took acid on a constant basis and played stupid board games, like overly complex.
He was,
but you'd think Steve Jobs would be totally in favor of this.
No, he never was. I think he was on record. He never
As saying
liked
what
this
he was
type of
that
stuff.
he doesn't like.
He didn't care
liked
much for
edgy
the
anime. Is that what he
I
said?
think so.
I want to find that quote.
I've heard. I remember he wasn't ever into this.
But
So-
it's similar to what we've talked about. It's like we were talking about, I think, over the phone, Mike. It's like about content on the streaming services, like when they were physical media and they had to actually get into physical stores and stuff
they
like that.
have
They had their own
Do they have
ratings in
Ping
that.
Pong
Remember?
Club?
Sorry,
Do they have Ping Pong Club?
I don't think Ping Pong Club has a license.
Yeah, that was with Funimation. I
Oh,
yeah.
believe. So it might have been there, but now it's back to Funimation.
that's sad.
Because
But I found out. Okay, so that's an interesting little discovery
yeah.
we've made. So
But yeah, I was saying that they had the ratings in that, and then of course we went to our streaming, and it's surprising. It's been so many years, but now, like over the past year, they've been saying, "Oh, I'm watching this show, but I didn't know they had all this content." I think what was it? Slayer, Goblin Slayer,
And Goblin Slayer does
and
show
it's
up.
weird. I would have thought it would have
And that's
been
on my
Berserk.
queue.
I
That's on
would
my
have
queue.
thought it would have been
That was Berserk.
Berserk.
Fine.
Yeah, like I would have thought it would have been Berserk because Berserk was a few years.
All right, what are you looking at?
I already saw that image, so I've
Don't drive
driven
high.
by. I've
Great.
been driven by that so many times on the electric boards that I'm like, I'll drive how I want to drive.
Exactly,
If I
man.
want to drive in the clouds, I will drive in the clouds.
I want to hack.
But
one of these
anyway.
things so bad.
Drive in the clouds.
But what was it?
Zombie infestation, 500 meters, something. I don't know.
But yeah, I was gonna say, like Neil was saying, I would have thought a few years ago Berserk would have been the one to do it. They now have those warnings probably on Berserk and stuff like that. But it's like, really, we haven't got here yet, and now we're here, and so now it's like, as we said, they just have general warnings.
Did they
that
put
may
a
offend
warning
you.
on Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell album? Can anyone remember this? I almost looked it up, but I was too
don't
lazy. Because I'm wondering, because everyone gets all upset about modern song lyrics, but the line "we were barely 17 and barely dressed," that seems to be okay, because I guess they were of the age of consent, so that's fine. It was a thought when I was.
Well, how things change, right?
But I think
was it? Did
not
Tipper
sure.
Gore like that? I don't know.
But
they might have had it at the beginning. You know how we skip all the images of the company logos and stuff like that? All of them now on top of the FBI warnings have things about this is not representative of our company and stuff like that. Or
That's only
of
with
the opinions
comments.
and that.
That's only with comments by whoever.
Yeah, commentaries
Yeah.
or extras. They put commentaries and extras and so on and so forth. So they cover their ass, a lot of them now, and say everything, basically.
Disclaimers somehow.
Yeah, like if there's a
Well-
commentary or extras, they put disclaimers along with their logos at the beginning.
But I
of
wasn't
most,
talking about extras. I was talking about the song "Paradise by the Dashboard Light."
But I wouldn't be surprised. to have
disclaimers,
some
like
disclaimers.
I would love to see an anime music video to that. By the way,
But it's funny, like all the disclaimers
Chances
are.
Bring it right back.
we
Bring it
just
right back.
just somehow it probably exists anyway. Just have to
there
look
are
around.
not enough anymore. There seems to be a
Yeah, it's-
decline.
I remember like what, like the 04, 05 when it was like the heyday of
Yeah,
AMVs.
Well, I'm
There's
sure
a
people
lot.
still make them.
Yeah, but
it's
they're
just
not as popular. Wasn't
Yeah.
there like a whole site like ranked them and stuff?
doesn't-
Yes,
Yeah.
there was.
there was. Yeah,
The real question is how full is the Anime North AMV room and stuff like that? You know, it's like when they do the contests and stuff like that every year.
It's interesting because I heard at AWA they still have like these big AMV contests. I don't know if that's still true or not. Certain
Well, I
US
know
cons
can-
Anime
sure we can
North
find
definitely
out.
still has it for AMV contests and stuff like that. And then they do a whole thing showing all the different entries and stuff like that. And they have like I guess a certain thing where they'll show just AMVs at an hour interval sometime during the con, I remember.
that would be good. As long as they should have like a cutoff
They got the
point where
classics.
you're not allowed to do any sort of 9-inch nail Final Fantasy mashups or anything.
or any Naruto and Linkin Park ones.
I was gonna say, is there like a Linkin Park block where they just have all the
Evanescence,
Linkin
guys,
Park?
come on, Evanescence. Evanescence in any anime.
Oh, I saw them last year live.
Evanescence?
They were fantastic.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
It was their acoustic version of like a lot of their older songs too.
Did you wake up though?
Oh yes,
Inside?
I did. I didn't wake up. I was woke
Did it bring you back to life?
thrice over.
Oh my goodness. All right, so there's.
I
that
finally
story.
saw The Cure.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that would be weird.
was it Riot Fest?
Okay.
What?
I said
That's-
Diane Vuda and The Cure. It was an awesome
Wait, hold on,
concert.
hold on. The Cure and who else?
Diane Wood.
It's like this was a few years ago.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Must have been, okay.
At Danforth.
Yeah. And they
Oh,
also had
man.
like
I wanted
Buzzcocks.
to, I wanted to
go to that.
so bad.
It was
Cure is great.
awesome. It was really good because again I had the earplugs in for Diane Wood. But I was really close, so I would have been dead otherwise.
They disbanded now. They're not.
Yeah.
So I'm so pissed because I didn't see that concert when they were in town.
That's not. Well, I mean, I saw Buzzcocks before Pete Shelley died, so thank God.
Imagine if you hadn't.
I saw Pete Shelley live, like millions of years ago, like on doing his like solo thing too. Yeah, that was cool. But
Danforth, man.
I don't know why it didn't come last year or this year. Like it just. I mean, to be honest, I won tickets, and so it was even better because 2 days tickets is
It's a good venue too.
Oh, yeah. Highly recommend it to all you anime fans.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I got some stuff.
Okay, yeah, give me a thought.
I've been reading and watching a lot of like I watched a documentary that was on Demonoid, which doesn't exist anymore as far as we can tell. But God, please come back, please come back. Anyway, on the Hollow Earth. I was watching, and that kind of led me to looking at these flat Earth flapjacks too, and just watching documentaries about this shit, and it's amazing because
Like full on documentary.
documentary.
The flat earthers.
And Hollow Earth. Like this is like from a Christian ministry, and they're showing like art from like Dark Souls and stuff, and talking about angels. So it's and Nazis.
I can see a face palm right
No,
here.
it's all
Look at Kevin.
it is the best because it gets a little flaky because at one point this guy's like talking about how these crazy hippies are talking about UFOs, whereas they're obviously angelic dimensional transfer vehicles.
What's it called?
This was called the Hollow Earth something. I don't know. I'll find it and yeah. But it's like 2 hours of
The Hollow Earth Chronicles.
something. Yeah, I think it might be Hollow Earth Chronicles. Yeah,
That's it.
highly recommend because it's just crazy.
I'm not gonna watch this because I know where this leads.
There are Watcher angels under the
See,
Tigris
see,
Euphrates
you just-
Valley,
see,
and
like,
during the end times they will come out.
I'm not gonna listen to this, man, because I'm gonna be like, you're
freaking me out, man.
Exactly. Damn.
And Nazis are down there too, but also ancient spirits who are guiding and enlightening humanity.
Speaking of Nazis, did you watch Overlord?
I saw it at Toronto After Dark.
Did you like it?
It was,
Okay,
to be
okay.
honest, it was a big budget remake of a movie they had made. There's some guy had made last year about World War One, which I liked better because it was the World War One was more cramped.
Sounds so revisionist.
It was really good though. 'Cause Nazis and zombies are always a tasty treat. And if you can't get Nazis and zombies, get World War One where you have like German soldiers with like iron plates all over their bodies, holding pointy hats with Gatling guns, looking like the Iron Grenadiers from G.I. Joe. And then add those, and then put some Nazis in.
G.I. Joe is just a word for you today.
I love G.I. Joe.
Yes.
Not like the person G.I. Joe, because that doesn't
the whole
tagline
thing,
for G.I.
though.
Joe again?
Oh,
More than meets the eye?
it is.
Yep. No,
more
that's
than-
Wrong.
It's like Joe.
It's a Transformers.
No, I know.
I just say it's like sometimes people cross.
Reverse dating yourself. Way to go.
It's a really cool hobby. I do a lot of photography. And
Yes, we do. I've known that part.
no, I do G.I. Joe stuff.
Oh, okay.
I do some really awesome stuff because you can use forced perspective. You can do a lot of stuff. There are some real,
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Really big. Yeah. that
yeah.
works,
So you can do some really cool stuff, and it also is a form of therapy.
True.
Not that I have PTSD or anything, but it
I mean-
can be used by people with that. It's
Well, I mean,
It's like coloring books and stuff.
you have to
yeah.
do stuff anyway.
yeah,
It's
it's
just for your recovery.
It's really. I've noticed there's a large fan base of people who have served, who are collectors,
Nice.
and I think that in some ways it fits a certain like niche there, and I think it does work as a therapeutic thing.
Absolutely. Do you guys watch Breaking Bad?
Yes,
Nope.
Do you
I have
remember,
not. I have
you
not.
seen all of it?
I've seen most of it and seen the
All right,
end.
let's-
Well, so I feels like it's like
quickly.
scattered. Yeah.
So like
Quickly, let's just finish this
Hank,
thought.
When Hank gets shot, and then he's like recovering, and he starts a rock collection as a form of therapy,
Well, that'll do it.
right? And then no one understands why he likes rocks so much, but he's super into rocks.
The last zombie merch, I was like undead Walter White with a big bag of green meth.
Green?
Well, blue. Sorry,
Blue meth.
I was actually some super special fish tank or gravel, but
Nice.
yeah.
Mike, what's next? What's the next topic?
Oh boy, maybe we should take a break now.
No, but let me go
Was
to
it
this
the
whole
commercial?
thing.
Was it a
It's-
commercial
It's
break?
amazing. I don't know why. I mean, I am a big fan of it from like a Jules Verne perspective. Like,
Breaking Bad?
no, Hallworth. Because he did,
Oh,
he did
Hallworth.
Journey of the,
Yes,
he did
yes.
Journey of
Yep,
to
yep.
the center of the earth. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
You mean
That's
that
really
movie with The
great.
Rock?
There were rocks down there. But then you like I listened to this Art Bell thing with this guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the Jules Verne story. Well, it's loosely based on actual accounts." And I'm thinking, you're high. These guys are like these true believers who like are believing about either sending an expedition down and that there's a river that runs entirely from the North Pole to the South Pole through the Hollow Earth, but somehow manages to avoid the sun, which is held in place magnetically in the center of the Earth's core.
Stop, man. Like, just... no.
And there are dinosaurs and 10-foot. The lost tribes of Israel are down there.
What?
Yeah, no, it's
The
like
Atlantis down there, too?
everybody is down there, man.
Those are all the dinosaurs went.
The dinosaurs are down there. There are Nazis. There aren't aliens, but they're really, really smart. They're these like the lost tribes of Israel who have 10 or 2,000 years of science on us, so they can do all this stuff. And what we see as UFOs are really the remotes they send out to communicate. Unless you believe, because then I went over and started watching UFO documentaries. Unless you believe that the U.S. either holds a monopoly on communications with aliens and are trading alien technology, or they managed to get stuff from Roswell and are continually shooting down UFOs and taking their technology, which means the aliens are pretty shitty again. But supposedly the U.S. has a secret space fleet and has had a base on Mars for the past 20 years.
You guys hear about that? So Steve Carell,
Space Force.
Space Force.
Yeah.
He's coming back to TV. By TV, I mean Netflix, and he's he's gonna have like an Office Place type work TV show, but working for the Space Force,
I can see that. I could see the Space Force being very much a
like The Office.
desk job situation.
Absolutely.
Well, Netflix
Yeah.
was promoting it because supposedly their most watched or streamed show is The Office,
Oh, yeah,
and then it's
100%.
Friends, but NBC owns all that, so now they own that and Steve Carell if he can get the
Steve
same.
Carell. What the hell is that?
If they can get enough money out of him this time, like
Possess
own
his
the whole
soul.
show.
Maybe
Okay.
Trevor Noah can buy his freedom back or something.
Wait, what? What?
Because Carell was on the Daily Show.
That's right.
But if we have him, hopefully they get
so
Ricky
Trevor Noah
Gervais
has the
as
master
well
keys.
on the
True,
Space
true,
Force.
true, true.
Wow.
It's like rival Space Force.
There you go. You know what? This is before the caramels kick in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's not like I think for
boy.
like at least another
Well,
hour.
let's take a
time.
break and see what happens as they do. Okay, and we'll get back on track because do a couple bullets. Get
You're
some
saying there was
feedback.
a track to follow?
Yeah, I know. Well, you know how these shows go,
like
right?
a dirt road.
You know how
that
some
has many
do-
ways, you know.
yeah, you know
bullets.
we're-
As
we're
like a
away.
snowmobiler,
for some
it's like
reason.
I
do
don't
some
care
do
about
some
this
items in brief.
trail.
Do some
I
items
will
brief
follow
because there's
your
some other
commercial.
stuff that did catch my attention.
Did you say do some cocaine? What?
Do some stuff in. We'll briefly talk about some other stuff. Let's take the break because I have to check my messages. Back in a second. It's the Anime Roundtable on
I thought you
Six
had
Talk.
turned it off there.
That was a long enough break. In real time, we were the better part of 40 minutes, half an hour, I think, in between.
No.
Well, we were watching a few videos, waiting for the candies to kick in. Podcast now continues.
You haven't taken yours, have you? You're
No,
like,
no.
you've been like gesturing.
They'll
around with
probably-
it.
Take yours.
He took one.
We're not pressuring anybody, but everyone has
I'll
to take one.
wait
It's
it
like,
out later. Anyway, the podcast now continues. Not in front of a live audience. Online via Six
You know,
Talk.
I was thinking about bringing friends over to this thing, and
What?
I was like, where would they sit?
Yeah, I know. There's nowhere else. The place
There's
is
a couch.
It's clutterific in here right
And
now.
then I thought I'm gonna be imposing if I brought people here.
Yeah, it's clutterific at the moment. Anyway, okay, so let's just try it. These candies brought the candies, the donuts. Brought a bunch of brought donuts.
You know, I almost brought a cheesecake.
Yeah, no, you almost went down to Uncle Tetsu's
I
instead.
almost brought, yeah.
I like Uncle Tetsu's cheesecake. I'm not a cheesecake guy, but Uncle Tetsu. Yes.
And then I figured how'd that work? Like, you had to get, like plates and cut it up and stuff.
Yeah,
Closer to the mic.
It's some
Close to the mic.
Very,
Be careful
Just
here.
like tilt this sort of so it's omnidirectional.
Oh yeah, you can. If you want, you can
Yeah.
tilt this a little closer, and then
Then you could be in stereo.
I brought Japanese cheesecake to work back in December, and it was a surprising hit amongst several of my coworkers who don't normally eat Japanese or Asian
Or
desserts.
cheesecake.
do we have an update on the former maid cafe? By the way, old Mohamed, I know will be
It's
curious.
gone? What?
Yeah, it's been apparently
Yeah.
it closed up
Oh,
sometime in the
The
fall.
one by Pacific Mall, right?
No, not that one.
no, the one at Dundas and
The actual
Fish
Uncle Tetsu's maid cafe.
Oh.
Why did that close?
That closed?
Well, they
Yeah,
they shut it
the one
down.
that closed last month
shit.
or 2 months ago.
That's been to be
But then they
reworked.
still have the 3 locations left in the city.
Oh yeah, they're still very
yeah, the
popular.
food
yeah.
locations are fine. It's just the maid cafe.
Oh, you know what? I did go to that 1,000 yen store in
Which one? Oh,
Promenade Mall.
wait, which one are we
What's
talking
it
about?
called? It's like a
Ichiban Living?
Oh, the 100 yen.
Not me.
It's
Not
not something like that, right? Like a little Japanese convenience store.
Is that the one that's going bankrupt now?
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
what we're
Miniso?
talking about? Miso's?
Miniso or
Miniso, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I stopped by. It was cool. They had drinks and stuff. It was cool.
I have a bag from there in my bag right now.
I have one
Miniso-
in the car, too.
why-
I like
is it
their-
just-
I like their
am I
white
the-
bags. They're nice.
Yeah.
Am I the only person that thinks that the Miniso logo looks a little bit like the Uniqlo logo?
No, it kind of looks like it.
Kind
It
of
has a
looks
red
like it.
boxy
Yeah,
shape.
red boxy
yeah.
shape. I actually went to Ichiban Living also a couple weeks ago, just to like in Pacific Mall, check that place out. And ended up with a potato chip sealer that for some reason right now doesn't seem to work. I'll figure that one out in a couple weeks.
You mean they have things other than phone cases at
Oh,
the Pacific
well,
Mall?
Yes. Yes.
Like 5 things, maybe a set of rims. I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, the funny part about Pacific Mall, like for all, like I know, read up on Pacific Mall if you've never done so before, and you'll know what we mean. I mean, the stores that have lasted there the longest have nothing to do with cell
law.
phone products or like Like, I mean, there's a kitchen store. There's an appliance store that's always been there. There's there's yeah. There's that place.
So disappointing
Well,
now, Mike. Holy crap. We went there last summer, and I mean, I hadn't been there for about, I don't know, 8 years or something, and it was just phone cases and rims. There were like 3 PC repair stores, which were just places where we're going to sell you more like phone cases.
It's pretty accurate,
I
actually.
think the sex shop closed down too.
There was. They had a place. They had dildos and bongs. There was a place with dildos and bongs.
That is...
But that's not going to make a store float. You need something more.
Sorry, you go?
Yeah, no, yours probably better than mine.
Well, I was just saying how they have some interesting shops there. Like, they have the one place that sells... They sell illegal plushies, but they sell legit, like, CDs and DVDs of Asian cinema and, like, K-pop and all that stuff. And then there's that one store on the second floor that sells legitimate OSC coats.
Okay.
Outdoor Survival Canada. And then... But other than that, it's like...
wasteland.
There is a legit store that for cell phone stuff. There is one legit store.
And the rest are like knockoff stores?
Well, I mean, I said at least one.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, they sell brand name stuff. I mean, where do you think I got
Is it really brand name, though? Or does it just have the words on it?
No, that's entire... Well, I'm not going to...
Mind blown.
Oh, I don't know. This is more of the debate. They seem to pride themselves. But hey, this thing has... my iPad's still intact.
One of the candy stores has Poppin' Cookin', so, I mean, that's something. But
There's a couple candy stores there.
Yeah, but there's not a
They
lot
didn't
of
have
diversity.
But they didn't have Matcha Arrow.
They don't. I mean, at this point, you can like walk into like I don't know, wherever and buy like green tea Kit Kats, like anywhere at this point.
Yeah.
But you can't get like the more arcane stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true. The green tea Kit Kat seems to be run of the mill now.
It is, which is
it's getting that
too,
way.
But
It's not a bad thing, but. So that's why, hence the search for green tea Arrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so during the break, we watched a bunch of videos. Like Kevin had yet to see Battle Spaceship Tiramisu.
Neither have I.
Neither have I, so we all learned.
So we all learned.
My new favorite show.
Oh, or learned our lesson. Thanks a lot, Neil.
Just wait to get to the Pube episode.
Oh boy, I did see that one. Thank you.
Best episodes.
Oh my god, watch it. If you can sit through the 7 minutes of commercials, if you don't have a Crunchyroll account,
Or if you don't have an ad blocker.
oh my god,
Just torrent.
All right, give me a reaction, Mo.
To tiramisu.
Just one, yeah, just from that first 7 minutes.
I really enjoy it.
Well, I know that you did because you're the one who recommended it. Way to go!
So why are you asking for
I'm asking Mo. The caramels are kicking in, aren't they?
You were pointing
I was pointing that way.
I heard my name said a few
I
times.
heard his name say
He's like, so Mo, can you continue? And he just popped it.
Say, let's hear your opinion.
All right, give me a
No, I don't
thought.
want to give it.
his opinion is he has no opinion now.
It was good. Very stylistic, looked cool. I like that opening kind of thing.
I wonder how that band feels about
What do
doing
you mean stylistic?
It looked like a Gundam, like a basic like Gundam.
In a positive way.
Yeah, like Gundam Seed, 00 type animation.
Has anyone watched this hot-blooded whatever Gundam?
Oh,
most recent one?
Iron and Blood.
Iron-Blooded Orphans?
Or whatever, yeah. Is it...
You mean the 8th MS Team remake?
Is it really?
Well, it's in the spirit of 8th MS Team is how I see it.
It could still be good.
I love the first season. I did not watch the second season because I didn't get around to it, but it's a little divisive.
Okay.
As with any, like, I feel like ever since 00, because that was when they started doing the half seasons.
Yeah.
The second half of any of those shows are never as good.
I can't get into My Hero Academia at all. I don't know why. I've only
You've
seen
mentioned
two.
this. This.
I've seen 2 episodes,
It's
and it was
me-
just
it's
like
right now, that's sort of like me and Attack on Titan. I mean, I've barely gotten 3-4 episodes in,
I've seen
and I've
4
stopped
episodes.
watching.
My Hero Academia does pick up in the second season, I would say.
What are you saying? Come on, second season. So I gotta watch about
See, I read it.
I was
So
gonna say,
it's,
Discovery.
I was gonna say, what does that even mean? It's a Shonen Jump.
it's different because I read it. I don't watch it, so so they don't have to stretch the pacing.
Law and Order really picked up after the 14th season.
What about One Piece? Which season should we start on?
I think anything above episode 700, you're good to go.
One Piece is a slow burn, but it's
Well, they've
It's
pretty
it
much
is a
caught
really
up
good show.
supposedly now, so it's like what, 30 minutes for 1 or 2 pages?
no. Well, so it's like this actually. That opening song is like the whole song, so it's like a 4 or 5 minute opening sequence. The first half is just recap of the last episode.
Which is about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep.
That's 10 minutes in.
And then the second half is the new content, which is 1 chapter now. Because they don't want to run into fillers with One Piece anymore.
So it's like if you go to a movie theater for a movie that starts at 7 o'clock, if you get there at maybe 7:30, you're still good.
More or less.
Okay.
One of those things now.
Let's say
One of those
7:45 when you
things.
factor in commercials.
Oh, boy.
That's true.
That's what One Piece is basically turned into. Way to go. Okay, so we saw stylistically you thought
It was nice. I mean, the comedy was surprising. Like I didn't go into it. I had no idea what
bizarre.
it was going into it. So
just
it's like,
after 4 episodes, it gets even more bizarre.
Well, I
just for
think they
reference.
gotta hit it because with a lot of those shorts, they try to hit you as quickly as you can. Because
No
some of
kidding
them
on
are
that theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but the thing that runs through my head is how does the band who performs those themes, the opening and closing, really feel about doing this show? That's just a question. That's just one question that comes through my mind.
I think they'd be flattered. I think they
Of course you'd think that.
They know most of their material is being, shown. That's what I really like about Yamoto too. The fact that they change up their closing for that as well.
Well, you did bring up an interesting
like
comment.
every 2 episodes or something like that. There's like a different ending. You're like,
Yes.
But actually, now that you brought it up, the flattery part, right? Because during that, remember I mentioned the thing on NHK, the King Records concert, right? That was done in Shanghai. Well, a lot of them said, they're kind of amazed that a lot of their songs have endured over the years because a lot of them perform songs that are at least 5, maybe 10 years old. I mean, Vanilla Salt was what Yuri Horde performed from Toradora. That's almost 10 years old. The opening song was Cruel Angel's Thesis from Eva. We're going to get to Eva in a bit. And they all said, this is like, I think one of those artists, Angela, performed the opening to Fafnir as well.
Shangri-La.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they all said, in many ways, what they have is kind of a passport. Like, if they have a memorable song, especially from an anime, it becomes their calling card to other parts of the world in many ways. So maybe your bit about what you just said about my joke about the band and what you just responded may hold some water.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that was a fair statement. So thinking about it now, that's probably a fair statement.
I think that you run into the same thing with every band where everyone's yelling "Play Freebird," but
yeah, no, and I guess comes that way with any
anything,
with any musical artist. Any song has its own little tweak on that.
That happened in Anime North last year when
played Freebird.
No, Back On performed at Anime North.
Chains,
so
they'll play Chains.
only waited till the very end to play Chain.
Or
Because that's the Air Gear opening.
Yeah.
Air Gear.
And then everyone's like, when are you playing this song?
It's their biggest hit. Come on, guys.
and then we say, and I think when Yoko Kanno when she first performed the theme song to to Escaflowne for the first time outside of Japan, and she was just so surprised that everybody sung along with the song.
Oh, Yoko Kanno.
So
I saw her at Otakon a few years back.
but they said, it was stuff like that.
When was that Yoko? Yeah, that was Yoko Kanno.
Okay.
Like she did Gravity, right? Her and Maya Sakamoto. Like she did the Wolf's Rain songs?
I believe so, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
she
so
did that.
she played Gravity on the piano and we're all like just bawling as we're singing it. Good times. Good
No,
times.
but she honestly was surprised. And the first time that ever happened to her outside of Japan, she mentioned how surprised she was about that. Okay, that's one thing we saw during the break. The other thing we saw during the break was what I posted up over the past couple nights just before we taped. The YouTube video you recommended to me, Mo. There's this YouTuber by the name of Misinformed, and he, as the name suggests, he does all these little parody videos of, trying to explain certain subjects within 10 minutes. And we've watched some of his videos. We talked about an alternative medicine, made fun of that, made fun of mixed martial arts, makes fun of Toronto, and apparently he is like Hamilton and Toronto based. So he did one for anime, and it's a pretty good watch. And I find out later on, he always gives a shout out to patrons, and we found out you're one of them.
Yep.
You're that much of a fan.
My first patron.
Yeah. And that's everyone does around, the slow clap. No, and we watched
snow clap. That was an appreciative clap.
Appreciative clap. No, I think he would too. So this is the Mohamed that's referred to in the videos that he gives a shout out to at the end of that video. Thanks for that. That's a good watch. That was a fun watch. Even though,
you are responsible.
You certainly introduced it to us.
You sparked joy.
Yeah, it sparked. We got to go to the side there at the end later.
I'm not talk about that.
You put yourself in that one.
I am not.
That is perfect for final segment. Okay,
I am somewhat of a collector, so I have no comment and no opinion on this.
Okay, so I'll go into history there later on. Okay, so that was an interesting watch. Neil, I know one of Neil's reactions was to throw an article from 20 years ago, like an old academic article for me 20 years ago.
Hilarious.
So we'll put that. I'm going to put that in the. We'll put that in the links later on. But it was from what was her name again?
Is she on Kotaku now?
No, I don't think she's on Kotaku.
She's on something.
Ars Technica.
Oh, I don't know, but she's supposedly legitimate now.
Yeah, she is.
But this was like her first foray into academia or sensationalism. Where is it? It is Magical Girls and Atomic Bomb Sperm.
Oh, I remember
the old article, right?
By Annie Lee Newitz, Japanese animation in America.
And this was like from the mid '90s. This was one of her. This was like an academic article.
We talk about cultural appropriation and and imperialism, and how Japan is bringing cultural imperialism to the U.S. and giving everyone gender confusion with Ranma.
The thing is, in many ways, what's your take? But comparing that and the Misinformed YouTube video,
I think it's pretty close to the Misinformed video.
It's just that Misinformed is.
Yeah, he's in on the joke.
He's in on the joke, whereas this one...
She was writing it from a jingoistic, America is afraid of Japan kind of thing, I think I got. Because at that point in time, Japan was outselling with with cars and things like that. And I think everyone was afraid of the Japanese. You see Michael Douglas...
Yeah, there was that Michael Douglas
movie, Black Rain. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to say that, yeah.
It's great. I mean, America was so afraid of Japan. Oh, yeah. And side note, after World War II, Japan needed to rebuild. And who did they turn to? Well, let's see. Basically, John Kenneth Galbraith was not looked at fondly in the U.S. because he was into efficiency and automation. So no American wanted to hear about this crazy bullshit. So they thought, let's send him to Japan. So he basically caused this threat. So an American caused the threat to America.
Well, it's sort of like Canada made its own problems with importing all its
phones from Huawei.
No, it wasn't just that one. Well, no. Actually, I think this was made a reference. Russia, one of the early Russian coaches actually took read handbooks written by Canadians on hockey. Yeah. And the Soviet Union became a power in the game.
I still have a problem saying Russia sometimes because I still call them the Soviets, which I guess is fine because that's what Mr. Putin wants us to head towards. But Yeah, no, yeah, I think you're right. I think that
And-
Canadian play style vastly influenced Team USSR.
Yeah, and then Canada, ironically, is kind of catching up, almost like curling these days too, actually, because a lot of other countries are going that way. Hey, we're talking sports, I know, because
like
taking out
cousin, was
curling,
going to be on the Olympic curling team 8 years ago, but he basically said no, but he trains with them.
Okay, well, I mean, we're talking what, Northern Ontario?
Well, Guelph,
Okay,
Northern Ontario.
I'll
It's like
have to hear that story sometime.
no, it's just that's the story. That's it. He trains with them.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so there's that. So, I mean, it's just funny that many of those thoughts that are parodied now were serious thoughts.
Oh yeah, no, it's so weird.
Back then.
She is so up in arms against basically the penetration and everything in, or at least her perceived views at the time. It's a fear. It is. I think it's a legitimate fear she's showing, not of Japan as a cultural threat. But yeah, it was funny to read when I originally read it, and it's still funny now.
Mm-hmm.
And it is quite similar to the Misinformation podcast,
Or that YouTube misinformed.
Misinformed, yeah.
Misinformed is supposed to be a character, right? So
Misinformed.
It's like all the other animated ones.
yeah, like a CPG Gray is one of the most
Casually Explained.
Casually Explained. Those are the two most famous two that stick out to me.
Grade 8, undergrade.
How could casually be a person's name? Casually sounds
Well,
like wrong. Bad
but
name. I would
but
never name my-
misinformed just
casually.
misinformed just has the problem with the funny part about misinformed is there's some truth in that humor.
I went to school with a girl named Candy Lapping. Can you guess what her occupation later became? Can you?
First name was
we'll have to.
Candy Lapping.
I guess
Her
well
last name
that'll
was
be
Lapping.
Like lapping a school track, lapping.
Well, or
no. No.
pretty much, yes. Or a cat. You know, when a cat's like lapping at milk.
Way to go.
Yeah. So yeah, you should parents. What the hell are you doing? Don't name your children stupid things. What was the name of that baby on the plane that the person made fun of too?
How long was this?
Abacy. Abacy.
Oh,
ABCD or ABCD.
Don't do that. When you're grown up, you can ruin your life by changing your name. But parents, don't ruin your kids' names. I mean, I would follow a National Guardsman named Optimus Prime. I was if it was like yeah, let's do it. No, yeah, Optimus Prime's told us to roll out. I'm fucking there. But ABCD, no.
They named the kid OP or something.
For reference, I actually do know somebody who has the first name Bruce and last name Wayne.
That's cool.
That's a good one.
All we have to do is kill his parents.
I always think of
I think they're gone already.
I always think of Apple as like a dumb name.
Apple.
Yeah, like
yeah,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
yeah,
What the fuck
yeah.
were you thinking?
Yeah, I don't understand it. Gwyneth Paltrow, what are you thinking? I think is just the general expression there. We've all looked at your goop, Gwyneth, and we don't approve.
Okay, so
That
let's.
sounded wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, just like everything
Wait,
else
there's
that's
pictures of
been.
a vagina on the internet?
Oh no! Please don't! No. Okay.
So you're now trying to get Gwyneth Paltrow and the Chinese government after me. I was gonna have like a rant about how, you know, generally when a Canadian diplomat traveled to Japan, they were told not to bring their phone, not buy a phone there. And if you had a laptop, don't use it for work, and don't certainly bring it to work after you've been to China. And yet, yeah, and yet Huawei's coming to Canada with 5G, so they can just tap our phones directly. We can buy from them. It's like buying these microphones right here. It's like, what the hell? I have issues with that particular political situation.
Yes.
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 You've been on that for a while.
Oh yeah.
We'll hear it. If
And
you want, we'll hear
Sodies.
this after the
those
after the
Sodies.
episode.
The one out?
The bone saw people.
Oh.
You know those people who say that Canada has a bad time with our natives, which we do, and people in general. But I mean, you don't generally, cut up somebody with a bone saw, period, and then you don't deny it, and then you don't go, well, maybe we did.
Sort of one of those things, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. I've done.
All right.
No more ranting about the Saudis.
All right. So one of the great questions from the misinformed video: who is Eva's best girl? I know you, and I got through a bunch of different answers right away from everyone around the table. Give me your case
The easiest one is Yui.
for you.
Yeah, because she puts up with the shit that Gendo does. And this is like young, surly Gendo, who hasn't, started to remake the world in his dead wife's image.
Yeah,
So he's
then
still,
he becomes old surly Gendo.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Who doesn't say to anything?
So I mean, he sounds like not the greatest date.
Well, that goes without saying. I mean,
So,
we always see
I
the
mean,
history.
she can put up with a lot,
Uh-huh.
like insane amounts.
Okay.
So that's why she's.
You
my
think
pick.
that you're...
I don't have an opinion.
Oh, yeah, joke's on you, right?
Wait, you mean you haven't seen Evangelion?
Dun, dun.
I've only watched 5 episodes of Evangelion, the 3 movies. Read that.
Did you read the manga from
read
Dark
that-
Horse?
I read
and
that
from
yeah,
Viz?
and I've
the
read
official?
Shinji Ikari Raising Project,
Oh, I was
and
just gonna
I've
ask if you had. Yeah.
Because that's probably why you chose who you chose. you know?
I read pretty much all the spin-off Eva manga, but I've read the official
Supposedly,
manga too.
I forget who's translating now, but there's an Ava novelization,
Yeah,
and someone licensed it. I can't remember who it was now.
There's a limit.
We'll have to
Weren't
look.
they working on a live action Ava? This was coming out
Nah, that's...
this year?
That was the thing
Weta
that sunk
Weta
ADV,
Workshop was
remember?
originally supposed
And
to be
that's-
working with that. There
that's
were some
sunk
designs
ADV.
that came out.
Yeah.
And that's sort
Yeah.
of what kind of undid a lot of things,
That's
right?
that was like what 20 years ago that they were.
Give or take.
Yeah,
How
ADV.
old is Eva now?
20, at least...
No, it's 23.
24, 23.
It's
because it was
legal.
it was
It is
1995. It
It
was
is very
1995.
legal. Yeah.
It's
95.
comfortably legal.
Yeah. Comfortably legal. That's one way to
Got some
put
elbow room in that one, yeah.
it. Way to go. So, okay, Mo. You're...
Best girl.
What he said.
You
What
agree
is
with
that?
Yui.
Oh, what you said.
You agree with Yui?
Yeah.
Okay.
Misato,
Misato?
and mostly it's because of the spin-offs and all the porn manga I've read.
Oh, boy.
I can't argue with that either.
Like
I
the
could-
ones
yeah,
that
I'd
Saigato
say
does of
Misato
Misato, oof.
Yeah, Misato would
It's
be a
just
good
one of those weird things that for me, it just how it shifted focus. Rei initially and then Asuka.
Never was
Later
into
on.
Rei. Like I just
No, I mean, it's all the images.
Ray
You just
is
get-
literally a pale imitation.
I know. That's the thing. And that's the funny part, right? That's probably why it all starts with Yui, right? It all starts with Yui.
well, we call that archetype a Rei clone for a reason.
I know.
Or
Never
Mumbles.
was-
I
There's
guess-
also Mumbles, which is kind of a sub.
I'll tell you this much: none of us are academics on this. We just somebody who watch. Oh, I guess on the topic of Eva, on one final topic of Eva, Netflix did pick it up. So
Oh,
we
really?
didn't know about this.
I
This
didn't
is-
know about
this
that.
is going to be news.
Shit, that's what I was talking
Is it
about.
the new
We talked
stuff,
about that
or-
before, yeah.
Yes, and that's the thing, and that's the bit. Okay, apparently,
TV show in like what, April or something?
apparently started.
Yep. And the 2 movies.
Yeah,
that
they picked
manga
up everything.
released.
Okay, so this
So
is
after-
All right, so let's update Neil just for a second here.
Please
on
do.
two key bits, because Neil doesn't listen to the podcast.
It's true, I don't. The only
It's
time I
true.
do is when I'm forced to, and I am occasionally forced to.
By who?
I think you know. Not you. Not you. You couldn't force me to do it.
Yeah, that's okay. So okay, so it got picked up by Netflix. Some controversy started because then rumblings started that they would redub the English voices.
Oh, really?
Yes. So some of the actors from the original ADV dub started a petition to have it
Pristine.
to get to
Unviolated.
or at least they be the ones to do the re-recording, which seems to have which there doesn't seem to be any more news on it, or seemingly has fallen on deaf ears. But it's set to come out in April, and apparently the process.
So that's why you were so interested in my response for Fruit Basket.
Yeah, that too.
Ah,
That's in April too.
That could be because that starts in April.
Yep.
Okay, so can we give him the cringeworthy one?
Sure. go
Okay,
nuts.
live action Cowboy Bebop. Netflix picked up the
Oh
rights.
dear God, no.
And we went through the casting calls back in December, and we'll go through them again later. So with you, Tim Hortons.
John Wick.
What about John Wick?
John.
Oh,
He's
because
he's not involved anymore.
he should
No.
be involved. He's too old. Maybe. Old?
he could be. Yes, he could be. But he might have been ideal 20 years ago.
Yeah. I don't have a magic live action.
No, keep in mind,
Bebop
Captain.
cast.
Keep in mind, in a live action Bebop cast. We were talking about it. We talked.
Jaden Smith.
Way to go.
Come on, be
Wait,
honest.
as who?
As Spike, no?
No. What about
That's
Ryan
gonna-
Reynolds?
Oh my
He
God,
can
why
play a
would you make Jaden
Pikachu.
Smith as
Oh,
Faye,
that's,
for God's
that's
sake.
asking. That could cause a lot of
I've
controversy.
already seen the casting for The Witcher. I mean, no, don't
But
like it.
there was an interest. But I mean, Mo gave me the casting call essentially, and we'll read it. Actually, that might be a good read. I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
again,
no,
okay?
Or you can just listen to the episode.
Or listen to the episode.
Hell, I'll do that. No.
Well, whoever forces you will probably force you then.
I actually listened to a podcast like this year.
Of the roundtable?
No. this was the Art Bell thing with the Hollow Earth.
Okay.
Oh.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Back to that topic from earlier, right?
It's crazy the number of people who there are legit people who are involved in this madness.
Legit people involved in like a whole bunch of shit. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm concerned about them because they're academics.
What's gonna happen? Like,
Oh yeah, no, I know. It's like, and again, I watched the Top Gear Race for the Pole episode.
okay.
Where they basically had a 4-wheel drive vehicle versus Huskies.
Okay. The Huskies win.
He's definitely probably one.
Sadly enough, the Huskies. Is this a spoiler? Do you want a spoiler?
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
Okay, the Huskies did not win, but that was due to some other issues.
Wait, what were the issues? Did they die?
No, they didn't die, and they almost the 4-wheel drive thing and the film crew also almost fell into like these ice pit things because they suddenly were driving on I hate to say this, but they were standing on really thin ice. But yeah, no. But again, they drive to the North Pole, right? Mm-hmm. There's no giant gaping hole there. There's no like river that spews out mammoths and shit.
It's under the ice, right?
Well,
Isn't
the whole point is there's this big opening.
yeah, under the ice.
No. There's a big, I think it's like a 900-kilometer hole.
They go straight through.
It leads into a rim, and then you go into the rim, and as you go down, the gravity somehow adjusts so you can walk upside down inside the Earth.
Yeah, because once you pass the Earth's crust, which I'm guessing would be like a mile or something.
Yeah, well, you have to
A
do
kilometer.
that loop though. There's
Right,
that rim.
and then as soon as you get to that certain point, you just would flip the rotation of gravity. And then you'd be
that
okay.
seems to be the way because I can't.
It's like in every Gundam.
Or they're traveling in space and they flip over in Zero G.
I was
I'm
thinking
just
more
thinking-
the colonies.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
'Cause they're all
Yeah.
circular, right? So I'm just assuming that's what they probably do.
Well, I don't understand how this river runs through everything because if the sun.
Are you sure it's not a metaphorical
No.
river?
It's a river runs through it for real.
Of what?
Like a water.
Did they say water?
He said
specifically?
water specifically.
Is it like normal water, like H2O, or are we talking magic water?
It's heavy water. But somehow this passes. It somehow goes like dips in. I'm not really sure how it goes. And again, there's like a sun inside
Yeah, the center of the Earth, right?
at the center of the Earth. There's
Yes.
also on
Is it the same sun from like Teletubbies? You know that little baby face?
Oh my
it
goodness.
does. It is a smaller sun, but I'm not sure about that.
okay.
There are also suns inside, or there are also hollow, or the moon is hollow.
Okay.
I think
So what's in the center of the moon? Is it cheese?
I don't know.
Ah.
See, this again is confuses
talking
me
all
because
the
again, it's Chinese space probe, right,
Yes.
on the moon.
Right.
Why haven't they seen all of these cities that are on the dark side of the moon that all these conspiracy nuts talk about too? Like they're either alien beings who have built these majestic towers or Nazis.
If you've seen the infamous ABC TV show Inhumans, you know that the city on the dark side of the moon has a cloaking device, so they actually don't see anything.
I think they would run the rover into it or
They
something.
have. But every time they kind of bounces off, so they're all it's like an anomaly to them. They don't really understand it, but they don't question it. I mean, come on.
Like, where are these aliens?
On the dark side of the moon, we just told you that.
Yeah,
We can ask the U.S. government.
Well, see, the U.S. government can't have an entire monopoly. The Canadian Minister of Defense, like 10 years ago, came out and said that UFOs existed and stuff. In part of this documentary on Netflix, there's footage, of these, or like a replicant flight vehicles or something. But the footage is from Quebec, Canada. So if we have got these things sitting in garages, why aren't we like tooting around? I mean, where are these aliens? Aliens, contact me, please. No probing, but contact me. Or even like, again, the Lost Tribe of Israel. They are free to contact me and talk to me about the Hollow Earth.
But isn't the Lost Tribe of Israel current day Atlantis? Isn't that where Aquaman's from? That's how the Aquaman's people came
Is
to
that
be.
really true? Is that? I didn't see the movie yet.
You didn't
so
see Aquaman?
No, I didn't see
No one saw
Aquaman yet.
Aquaman?
No.
So apparently that Lost Tribe went ahead and made like a civilization, and then like it sank because they got too ambitious, and that's how Atlanteans exist.
People are always getting ambitious.
So everyone knows that Aquaman's Jewish because he's part of the Lost Tribe of Israel. He's a chosen one. And everyone knows that.
There are so many questions.
Wow. Wow. She's getting everywhere.
What? That's they talk about this stuff though. It's like it's like crazy, and they believe it, and it's like 14-year-old me. Oh my god, I would be so excited. I am so excited now, but a different kind of excited. I would be involved. I'd want to be involved. I'd be like booking tickets on that atomic Russian icebreaker to go up to the North Pole and go on an expedition. I'd still do that, but
You do it regardless.
yeah, I would. Who am I kidding? But it's just like these people are, supposedly adults. And I've read about how it's a response to feeling overwhelmed by science.
What's more plausible? Hollow Earth, flat Earth, or the whole QAnon situation?
This is then we got to move on. You know that.
Now you've just stuck me with a mental logjam.
Way to go. We'll get back to you on that later. Either that or we bring up Marie Kondo.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, is that one of the topics, Marie Kondo?
No, we'll get to that in the
Trump
final
is a
segment.
Russian agent and that stuff.
Well, but that's an ongoing thing.
She's aight.
James,
No, it's okay. So
you're way in right
movie
there.
stuff, because this came up over the last bit. Mirai has been showing in theaters over the last week. If you're listening to this episode, apparently there's a 1 week run in Toronto, and that ends actually on the Saturday at the TIFF Lightbox.
Like tomorrow?
Yes,
Tomorrow.
on Sat.
So they,
So
if you're
trust-
listening to this next
it's
week,
too late.
too late.
or if you are going out to this, chances are you've trudged through a lot of snow to see it
Mirai
too.
is the host of the one, right?
Yes,
Yep.
Okay.
The one we were talking
But
about.
the
last
thing
time.
is-
Mirror of the Future?
yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's that. It's been showing here up in Toronto at TIFF Lightbox. It will be showing again at the JCCC on February 17th as part of a double bill as well. We'll put the link to that.
But the Canadian distributor hasn't really done a showing like they have in the States, because remember the States
No,
has had it
they've
showing stuff
really
like
been
that.
showing it, but
So it'll be interesting to see if it's like his last one, if it's going to be distributed by the Canadian distributor or if it's going to be through Funimation, because what was it? It was like Mile High or something distributed like Boy and the Beast last time that happened. So
well,
it'll be
this is,
interesting to see
we're
what happens
talking
this
we're
time.
talking a new movie anyway, so
I might go to the JCCC for it then.
but, because that's on the 17th. I think it's February 17th. It's a Sunday, so there's that one. And a little bit more controversy today. We were learning that the latest Fate's Day movie probably won't see a theatrical release in Canada.
Yes.
I feel like some Fathom stuff has come over, and it just depends
it's based-
on the main licensor. So Aniplex still could go to Cineplex and get something done.
Yeah,
and they have
because
done
the
that
main
before.
distributor is basically all U.S. based at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no indication that, or doesn't seem like it'll have a Canadian distribution.
Because
in
I
theaters.
think Aniplex made the case, and they have done it before, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come and just do it themselves and
But
go to Cineplex. So.
we sort of had this conversation sort of with like roundabout way with Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll getting like forcing more Canadians into the paid tiers because there isn't too much in the way of
There's no back catalog.
stuff like that. And something remember it's like Canada isn't really that much in some ways, in a lot of ways, right? 30 million? Who are you kidding? 300 million in the States, billion plus,
Just a speck in the rear view mirror, unfortunately.
something like that. Yeah.
Aniplex, I want to legally watch this film. Please screen it in Canada. Please make it happen.
And that's
So you know they're never going to hear that.
I know that.
much like anybody else, no one's going to hear this. So anyway, those are just some more serious thoughts. Now we torture Neil. We'll do that after the break and off the show. Back in a second. It's the Anime Roundtable on Six Talk. Okay, so here we go. What was the inventory as we started tonight? A bag of caramelts, as we call them, as we should safely call them.
I don't know. I saw a lot of drugs here, Mike. Drug paraphernalia.
I'm waiting to ingest mine at home.
Yes. So
No more than 30 grams of whatever item I'm happening to have.
yes,
Only one left.
and
say
donuts
that.
from two places, right?
woman
And
I
donuts
know.
from two places. One from a dozen donuts from Tim's across the street, and a dozen and like
16.
little
16
mini donuts from a place called what's it called?
Fugo.
Fugo.
It's in little Tokyo.
Yeah, it's in the
It's in that-
dessert row, is what I like to call
The
it.
dessert row, basically in the same corridor where
Uncle Tetsu.
Uncle Tetsu's would be in
I remember
downtown.
that area being so dead like 15 years ago.
Oh, how things change in
It's
downtown
busy
Toronto.
now,
Right?
but like obnoxiously busy.
That's
Oh,
one way
yeah.
to put it.
Like it's just
So it's one of those "be careful what you wish for" scenarios,
'cause the
right?
people there are not.
So you're saying that half the clientele should be eating fugu instead?
Oh, hey, good one.
And
Well
I'm sure,
played.
and half of them can afford it anyway.
All right.
Are we recording?
Yes, we are recording now. So that's the inventory. That was
Yeah,
the
we're
original
beating down
inventory,
rich
and now of those items, of all those items, I'm not counting the caramelts because
You haven't taken it yet.
Exactly, man.
well, that for one thing.
If you don't want, the
If you don't
caramels-
want it, just say you don't want it.
No, I'll have it.
Don't
I'll worry about it later. I'll
sit
worry about it
alone.
later.
Don't get like sit alone and get
Oh, man,
high.
You're,
That's
you're
just-
like my little cousin where it's like, if you don't want that piece of cake, just put it back.
Uh,
No.
throw it out.
We'll worry about it later. I think how many of the Fugo donuts are left? Two, and then three regular
donuts, yes.
Tims left. Okay.
Promise us you'll watch something funny after you eat that.
No, Pineapple Express. is
Which
on
means
Netflix.
2 or 3 episodes of tiramisu.
tiramisu.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Actually, I'm still always I'm always open to a suggestion as I continue my
Bad
Viki.
Education.
Is that an actual show?
Straight up watch it.
The British TV show.
British TV show.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Sex Education?
I've not seen Sex Education, but
It's
there
hilarious.
are
Well,
too
yeah, I
many
mean-
testicles in the Bad Education movie.
Oh, boy.
this is something I've
Oh,
noticed with
Mike,
Netflix in
you
general.
should, you should eat
They're
that
really
and then watch
big on the
Perfect Blue.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they are.
The Adam Devine movie.
Oh, boy.
Game Over Man.
Yeah. Again, testicles everywhere.
Everywhere.
What is up with Netflix and their hatred of breasts?
Wait, what about
What?
testicles?
What?
If you watch a Netflix comedy, 9 times out of 10 there will be testicles.
You won't see any breasts or nipples.
Nope, because that's
no penis. Maybe
well, some
ass.
maybe penis.
Yeah,
Maybe penis.
maybe. But definitely testicles. 100%. And they're always hairy, super hairy testicles.
There's like a taint cam in the Bad Education movie. It's like if you were hanging in there with a camera, that's what you would see.
Well, like we get boobs all the time. I
We
think it's
don't
only
on Netflix though.
well, you can find
No
them. if
one
you look-
wants to look at testicles. No one. I don't care if you're gay, you're straight, you're like I don't know, maybe a dog would be interested. Like ooh, but fucking Scooby Doo.
Go fetch.
Like Scooby Doo's all like ooh, funny. But no one else wants to see testicles.
You'd be surprised.
There's nobody. There are not like website hangouts for testicles. And if there are, do not send them to the show. But everyone likes breasts, right? Right? Mm-hmm. Like men, women, children especially like breasts. But I mean, they're inoffensive. Get them out. It's legal in Ontario. Not now. Not today. No, not today. But in the summer when it's hot, just pop them out there. But
Wait, why not today? Because of the coldness?
it was goddamn cold.
Oh,
Yeah,
goddamn cold.
but no one
Oh
wants
my
to
God.
see your testicles. Keep them in. Just keep them in there, man. Just okay. Sorry.
You're fine. That's it.
I'm fine. I'm done.
Final insult. Way to go.
Now I need a final insult.
That was a way to go.
Well, I'll have to.
Well,
But no, watch
And-
something
and-
funny. Don't just watch something humorous. Watch Bad Education. I really liked it because it almost offended me at points, and I always kind of like that in a way. And
And this is the first thing I write down on my on my cue card.
It
today,
almost
right?
offended me in a good way. You know, it was brash. It was crude. It was funny. There are things that I find offensive that are offensive. But this was
it's
funny.
hard to offend you. I find it hard to offend you.
Sometimes hard to offend me. The guy who asked Buzz Aldrin if he landed on the moon, then bleating after Buzz socked him in the face, I find him offensive. And I would sock him in the face too, but it's an open. If he wants to show up on the show, I will punch him in the face for ratings.
Well, we need listeners, that's for sure. And what a way to start a YouTube channel.
Stuff like that bothers me. Dictators bother me. The thing dictators do bother me. The thing people don't do about dictators, that bothers me. But bad education, that's some good bother.
See, the thing is, okay. Quick behind the scenes stuff. Everyone around the table knows these days I hold like little cardboard cards to take notes and to make notes before the show and take notes during the show. The episode 7 card, and we don't have an episode. I don't have an episode 5 card because I didn't take notes at the time. The episode 7 card. This is the only note I have on it. Bad education. That's the only thing I've put on it. I may put notes as I re-listen to the episode tonight, or before I put it up.
You know what we need, except for the fact that you couldn't see it? A clapper.
Oh, a clapper.
Like a,
Oh, one of those things.
One of
Yeah.
those, yeah.
Oh, for like a director's clapper.
Because it's better than a piece of cardboard.
Oh no, just so I make notes and stuff.
Yeah.
You would make
Well,
notes
that would be an addition.
It's got a little. It's
just an addition to.
chalkboard,
No,
right?
but we don't do.
There's a guy whose job it is. He's a clapper.
I know
loader.
that because
Yeah.
that's
aren't clappers for like starting and ending of like
Yes,
scenes
of
or
scenes and
something?
Yeah,
stuff.
but you could do like talking about stuff.
I know where you're going with it.
We have commercial breaks. Isn't that our clapper?
Maybe. Oh,
This is a-
what
this
I
is-
do like about
This is
what I
because
do
this is
like
just me being lazy.
about Mystery Science Theater, the new one, is the fact
Oh,
that
the
they
new-
still
because-
they
yes.
still have commercial breaks, and I do like that.
Oh, they make their own
they're not
commercial.
real commercial breaks, but they're.
I know, but they
Yeah.
put them in.
I respect that.
Kind of like us.
But the rest of it, not so much. But I did see Jack Frost on New Year's, and
Hold on.
Jack Frost.
Kevin Costner? Jack Frost?
No, is that the one where he turns into a snowman and kills people?
Yeah, doesn't kill people. But yeah, it's like the comedy.
Oh,
the family one, no? Wait, are we on this little where he turns to a snowman? It's like a family adventure type deal, you know?
I knew there was one where a snowman kills people.
That's like, wasn't that a porno or something? I think that was a porno.
It's not a porno, although someone
Pretty sure
does,
it
I
was.
think, get like violated with the carrot, but or just brutally stabbed.
Yeah,
But
isn't this the one you're talking about?
no. In this case, it's a
Oh,
retitling
that
of
one.
a Russian fairy
That one?
tale.
Yes,
Wipe that out from my memory.
The 98 family classic, starring Michael Keaton. Not Kevin Costner.
It was Batman all along.
It's me, Batman. It's Frosty. Stay Frosty, Robin.
Oh,
What a
boy.
horrible movie that one too was. Batman and Robin. Good
Oh, you
God.
There's a lot.
Keaton wasn't even there.
That's the one I meant, but that's not the one I meant.
Not-
So the one I meant that's on Mystery Science Theater
Oh.
is
Oh,
actually
what was depicted?
like a spirit, like a Russian frost spirit with a fuzzy coat. And it's not really about him at all. He just kind of is a extraneous character.
I mean, there's stuff to watch.
But
out
it's
there.
good. I like Russian folklore.
I know.
Yeah, like the Baba Yaga. Except they call her like
What about Krampus?
oh, I am so there with Krampus. Yeah. I honestly think, that
I am so lost now.
I saw Blue Peter in concert. It was
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yes,
I did.
you mentioned it.
You see, there's a Krampus reference too, sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like Krampus, just Jack Frost was more Russian folktale-y. And they also called like Baba Yaga something stupid like Little Goblin or Twisted Goblin or no, not that one. Those like the witch with the chicken house. But I like that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. On that note, just after hearing all that, and I give the the email address to give feedback, animeroundtable@gmail.com.
How long our tangent was? Damn.
Yes.
It was quite long. It was quite long.
animeroundtable@gmail.com, at Anime Roundtable on Twitter. www.animeroundtable.com is our website. Not really updated.
You should like point at your watch.
Or in what way? Oh,
Like, wave your hand.
Wave your hand.
I
Wave
know,
your
just
hand.
do that.
Do the rolling right along thing.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, we got
those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just to move it along.
Never stop talking.
Well, we are like towards the end of the episode, so
Do we need a particular time? Like, are we gonna? Is there like
Man, are we 3 hours plus today?
no, we're not 3 hours plus
That's
tonight.
fine then.
We're still under 2 hours.
That's
How much,
nothing.
how
then.
much time? Like half hour?
That is chicken. That is chicken
Probably an hour and
cake.
a half.
Closer to hour 45,
Yeah, we're good.
where we're standing.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Well, give a thought just to before we end, because as I said, we're just trying to get settled back into for the new year to 2019. Anything related? Do you have a thought before we end tonight?
About
Anything? Or before
I did start watching this new show on Netflix called something.
Is it the Mexican demon hunting one?
That is good.
It is good too. Yeah.
Well, one thing.
High Score Girl.
Oh, that.
Oh
was
yeah,
good.
that one, that manga. That was the one where they got sued
what is
because
that?
of the
I don't know, but
arcade
it was
images
cool.
they had. I think it was
Yes.
SNK Playmore. When they were still SNK
the name
Playmore.
sounds familiar. Yes.
Wait, wait, they're not called SNK Playmore
It's like-
anymore.
Nope, they're
This
just
guy
SNK
plays,
now.
Street Fighter.
Oh.
All the
Yeah,
recent games you
Japanese
see, that's
arcade.
why it says
Okay,
just
so-
SNK.
Also plays this.
High Score
Interesting.
Girl.
Yeah.
And I've heard of this. That's your and it's a recommendation.
My recommendation. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the first season is just that first time, and then they time skip, and then it continues on. But it's interesting if you know your video games. There is just a tons to nitpick at. It's great.
My sister's husband actually built a Virtua Fighter, like a console to play Virtua Fighter with. Yeah.
Would that be your brother-in-law?
My brother-in-law. Yes, yes, my brother-in-law had a Virtua Fighter console reproduction, so he could play.
I just never understood that. I mean,
to make arcade cabinets.
Oh, no, it's different.
The brother-in-law thing.
Oh,
So this guy, so he's married to your sister. Somehow that makes him your brother. That seems weird.
Well, it's like biblical. If you, it's like,
Is that how it works?
well, it's like in the Bible.
well, keep in mind. What is it? Keep in mind you had Gendo taking his wife's last name.
That's true. It's progressive.
That's
You
just the
could
way
hyphenate
it's
it,
just,
it.
You just take in a marriage
stronger-
the more prominent.
If her lineage is stronger than my lineage, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's sort of comes that way, I suppose.
Right?
Sounds roundabout.
You're supposed to, like in the Bible, before
Yes.
if your wife dies, you're supposed to marry her sister as like a backup.
Oh
It
shit!
happens.
Do you watch?
I will say
TV
that
show
happens.
Called The Magicians.
Yes, I
Are
do.
you like caught up with it?
Wait a minute, where
There
are
like
we?
4 seasons
What?
So
Has the new season started?
next week.
Okay.
But you saw season 3, right?
Yes.
So do you remember the wedding that happened?
Yes.
Into
And
the
then
mic, into the mic.
So there's a wedding that happens.
I remember-
and it's like supposed to align these two,
Elliot.
right? It's supposed to align them, and then at the actual like they get married, they altar, I do. Then the younger brother of the groom kills his brother
During the service.
During the service, like as soon as she says I do and they're married, he kills him
Violently.
like decapitation. And then it's like apparently by law now he then marries her,
And what's the show called?
The Magicians.
It's based on a series of novels which I haven't read.
Neither have I. I don't think anyone's read this.
I don't think anyone's read them. No. Are they quote unquote young adult novels?
I don't think so. Were they like children novels?
Are they?
They don't
Children
decapitation in these.
The first time you're doing it. Oh.
I don't know. That's
Could have sworn they were not young.
they must be young adult. Everyone's
'cause-
having sex.
No, because I think the sex was added to make it more enticing.
Games of
Okay.
Thrones.
Yeah, because I think the books were more based on
Because look
and all that
at
stuff.
Ascendant or whatever, or
Jupiter?
Divergent or
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. But those were
Where
young.
the creepy girl sleeps with the rapist executioner guy, and that seemed to be all cool.
Because he's troubled, he's moody. He doesn't want to do the execution.
Isn't
does,
that
though.
any romance novel too?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I caught an episode of Highlander. What the fuck? There was this like
New
brutal.
Highlander?
No.
They made New Highlander?
It's no. Is it Highlander?
The original television series?
Wastelander Highlander. No, there's like a TV series on Showcase. Is it Highlander?
Probably not.
There's something
Probably
to do
not.
with something to do with Scotland. But
different type of Highlander.
But it seems
Not
to be
Highlander,
from demographics and what people have said, a quote unquote chick series. The last season I saw had a violent rape in it that was just like, "Wah!" And pretty much like, I mean, any sort of gratuitous nudity that they were promising me was thrown out the window because I don't want to see that shit.
Easily offended.
Do you remember Kenny versus Spenny?
Yes, I watched an episode last week. Actually, 2 episodes last week.
I have to just sit.
They're in Toronto as well, Mike.
I believe
Yes,
that.
along with who's the guy? The video game guy.
Pure Ponage?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just looking at a list of all showcases, shows and
A
shit.
friend of mine, or my girlfriend.
We'll look it
actually,
up.
what am I saying? My
We'll look it up
girlfriend
later.
went to on a pilgrimage to the Pure Ponage house.
Yeah.
Kevin, you have a thought? Give me a thought, please.
So, Shonen Jump recently stopped doing the magazine format.
Oh, okay.
This was maybe a few days after the December podcast. So now it's just almost every single Shonen Jump thing that's been published in English is now available for you to read on their app or on their website. The latest 3 chapters will be free. So for people who don't want to pay, that's your free legal option. And then if you want to pay like $2 or $3 a month, I don't remember the price, but for $3 a month or something like that, you can get access to almost all of Viz's Shonen Jump back catalog, which is really good. That's as good as it gets. Like, people who illegally read Shonen Jump, you have no fucking excuse to not use that app and to legally read anything now. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm offline. Why am I
There's some exceptions though. Like
Remind
there's no Hunter x Hunter. There's no Yu Yu Hakusho.
We'll talk after.
No, what was it? And there's no the new Rurouni Kenshin's not on there because he's a pedophile, and
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
and no JoJo's. Yes.
Oh, wait, we'll update you after the show.
Yeah.
So the original Kenshin and that 2-volume whatever thing is there, but the new Kenshin still not on there
I've got
anymore.
all the fan subs on VHS.
So did I.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just anyone's
actually,
interested.
we'll have that conversation.
So there's some
another
exceptions, but pretty much everything else is on there. So
time. Pay $1 a month.
pay
a couple
that
bucks.
$2-3, or if you don't, then you can still read the latest chapter for free.
How is Indiana Jones not Me Too'd?
We'll go into that later.
Because when Indiana Jones slept with Marion Ravenwood, she was in high school. He was a university student. She was maybe 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
Yeah.
Your turn. Which one do we talk about? Oh,
I don't have much to talk about, so you can go ahead. It's like, I know Mike's been waiting for his moment to shine here.
No, we were just out to offend Neil. There's a certain irony in me holding dusty copies of Marie Kondo's books. There's a certain irony.
I
in
like
that.
it.
Did they bring you happiness, though? That
Actually,
does it spark your joy?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I like this is my thought on Marie Kondo because of the whole of her newfound popularity on Netflix. But anybody who kind of keeps up kind of have known about her for some years. Her books have been bestsellers for quite a while. For I wouldn't say how many
She's been
years.
referenced in TVs and movies for a long time. The whole, if it brings you joy. Keep
Yes.
it.
Oh, that name dropping. Yeah.
And this is where, at this point, like I'm not surprised. And for reference, no, I have not read the books, but I have looked at some of the diagrams at the chapters on
Look at the
folding laundry,
pictures.
like a typical guy. But I did look up the basics about folding laundry, so that's helped. Here's the but the thing is, it sort of doesn't surprise me because I've already seen this kind of before, and this is me putting my NHK hat back on because about 3 years ago, maybe a little give or take. NHK actually did 2 specials with her where she went to New York to help out some families there. So in many ways, the Netflix series is basically them picking Netflix and whatever Japanese production companies. And I know they've had agreements with Fuji, and I don't know if Fuji TV is actually in on this, in on making this series. But they're like, she's had television specials on NHK World already. So in many ways, I'm guessing that Netflix doing this is basically making a regular series out of those specials. So I've seen it already. And it just doesn't really surprise me that she's become a bit of a phenomenon. Just having seen it already, having seen hints of it. All that was needed was a more mainstream outlet. And
she seems
got
like
that.
the minimalist view of 1980s Japan, like the throw it out society. I bought a new stereo last week. It's old. I'm going to throw it out. Therefore, I'm not like cluttering my house with obsolete items.
I know you're more of a collector, so I know you'd have issues with her.
I do have issues. Yes.
Well, I mean, we've
right.
over the more than 20 years I've known you, and the 10 years and the 14 years of the podcast, the now 13 years the podcast has existed in some form.
Just hitting puberty.
Well, that too, yeah. Well, I mean, Anime World Order is celebrating 13 years of continuous themselves, and we're celebrating, and we're about to celebrate 13 years of at least the original show. So, I don't know. It's just one of those. I just know, like, I know you like collecting. I've liked collecting.
I don't.
I know I have to make decisions, but we've had these talks before.
Well, I think that's what it is. You have to make decisions, and not that does it bring you.
It's more of like I know that it's just that it feels so. Like, Marie Kondo, she feels so clear cutting in her methods.
It's more like, am I going to need that reference book in like a year? In some
the
cases.
funny part is, like, you'll be sitting somewhere and then that thought suddenly comes in your head. Ooh, I'm looking for this.
Or there are things that there are
damn.
things that, am I going to reread this?
Yeah.
If I get halfway through a book and I'm not going to finish it, then generally I'm not going to reread it. And I think that
I say that about having to replay Final Fantasy X. So,
isn't there going to be a sequel?
we're talking.
There was
was.
a sequel.
No. Like Final
X2.
Fantasy 2, 3, or X3,
X3. Oh,
or something. The year we made contact. Yeah, I think I was reading an article about this.
Okay.
And supposedly they're fixing the mistakes they made with X2. Which
I believe that.
The real mistake was making X2.
I have to.
Yeah, on that note, Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally set to come out in the next little bit too, right?
Yep, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
big month. And then
Big
next
month.
week, Resident Evil 2 remake.
So what about Final Fantasy 7?
Should it be remade? Or
well,
It is being
apparently,
remade,
yeah,
but it's
or-
taken its
or-
sweet time.
Well, like, yeah, they've said they're not going to remake it. Like, how many times though? Too?
Yeah, but
It's basically
there.
in Kingdom Hearts mode. It's going to take forever. And
Yeah,
then
it'll take
one day
forever.
they'll say, hey, we're going to release this.
I'm not sure. I think it's a product of its time, and I think that
That might be the fun part,
style. Yeah,
But that might be the beauty of it. I mean,
well, just play it on an emulator or something. Don't bother remaking it. If you're going to do the same damn thing, then don't do the same.
well,
damn thing.
that's the thing. They're not necessarily doing the same damn thing.
And I don't care about what's his name, the soldier who Cloud became or whatever. Oh shit! Spoilers.
Yeah, 20 years later.
Yeah, or stuff like that. And I don't.
A certain character dies.
There's a certain character who sells flowers dies, but it's okay. You can bring her back. There's a hack. No, there's not.
What?
Everyone's like, "Oh shit, my same game." I don't know. I don't.
It just doesn't.
Just let it sit. XCOM was remade, and two companies went two different ways with it. They went Xenonauts, and they went the
I know.
XCOM that we know today. Both fantastic games, both wildly different. But if you made the original game again,
I know. I get where we're going.
yeah.
Anyway, I think that's about it.
No, we need your more joy. And
Your final thoughts.
yeah.
Oh, I gave that. Sort of.
Did you?
Sort of.
Okay.
No, that was just like
I guess-
you looked at a book. It was cluttered. It had pictures though.
Well, it was more of a just a thought concerning her popularity these days.
Does that mean
Her-
Why do you watch the show on
Why do you
Netflix?
think she's popular?
Huh?
Why do you think she's popular?
She has a charming personality, obviously.
Well, just because you have a charming personality doesn't mean
That's
you're popular.
true, but I guess it's hitting a nerve of some sort. Who knows? I mean, that's perhaps another long discussion. Which, unfortunately, I'm hungry now. We got to go for munchies.
we have tons and tons of donuts.
Yes, we do.
Wait, hold on. Where are all these donuts?
Well, we have 4 donuts.
4 donuts left. Well, I mean, that's another. I guess we can. I'd have to think about that one a little bit longer, just to maybe read the books.
Well, I mean, it's like the latest findings that say food prep and everything is wasting far more food.
Oh, that
than
one, yeah,
people
that.
Or that the American military-industrial complex is wasting more than America as a whole. I mean, it might be there. I think people are paying lip service to conservation and efficiency and maybe, speed through lifestyles. But, I mean, no one's going to give up their internet.
That's true. That's true.
Was that one of her things?
No. But, I mean, I'm saying you're not going to make that people are going to say they make sacrifices. Yeah. But they're not going to really. Everyone wants a cushy life. Even well, I'm not everyone, but you know what I mean.
There's a puzzled look.
Watch the last.
Now we've really gone off the rails.
Watch the last season of South Park.
Okay.
Basically.
The man bear pig thing.
Man bear pig. Yeah.
You're
yeah.
Right.
See,
That's
people are willing to put off their
true.
Destruction now for their children's destruction.
Makes sense. I mean, that's the entire climate argument right
now.
But
why?
Right?
It doesn't make sense. It's not a good thing.
I'm suffering now. I don't want to keep suffering, so let me just go ahead and put this suffering to the next generation so that I don't have to suffer.
Because kicking the can down the street.
Yeah, but if you plan on living forever, then you're stuck with all these people's mistakes.
What's it called? Robbing Paul to pay George or
Ringo?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. No.
From the Bible.
Yes, George.
Ringo. Bible.
Ringo is in the ball. Wow.
All right.
George, a very old biblical name. Yeah. No, I know what you mean though. People, I think, can compromise with some things in their lives. They do not need all of the things they have.
Yeah.
I'll admit that. And I think you just have to do it though in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see, not the next sunrise, but you want to see like maybe 20 years from now. Mm. And I mean, that's not as far away as it used to be.
Fingers crossed, as some kind of like giant advancement in technology happens, like cold fusion or some nonsense where we just fix all our problems.
You'll move to Mars.
Before Marie Kondo, George Carlin did his Stuff skit, which is just as effective, if not more humorous.
And you can hit,
I'm pretty sure
a watermelon with.
I'm
pretty
George
sure
did a whole bit about this in that movie, Up in the Air, about what's in your backpack. You remember that movie?
I didn't see that movie. That's where he's like the guy when the air.
Yeah, he flies across the country, and then he had a whole thing about how if you put like your house and all your stuff in a bag, how heavy would that bag be, and so forth, right? And wouldn't that bag be a lot lighter if you didn't have to worry about your DVD collection or your collection of books and other random shit?
But I'm not going to give up my books for an e-reader, too.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not an e-reader guy either. I need the book in my hand.
I want to own it. I don't want a license that
even if I don't own the book, but I still want it.
I do read manga digitally now, but books, no, it's got to be in the hand. It's got to be in my hands. And if I don't own it, that's what the fucking library is for.
I really like little libraries too that have been popping up everywhere. Because that way you can get rid of some stuff that you're not going to touch again and find something new.
Mm-hmm. There's one in this building.
Oh, really?
I'll show you.
That's a cool idea.
I'll show it to you. Let's go get some munchies. I'm just get something to eat. Something a little less sweet to eat. Okay. Well, that's about it. But really, there isn't much else to bring up. At least worth recording.
I'm going to see Red Velvet next month.
Red Velvet.
Yeah, they're a Japanese, not Japanese shit. They're a Korean pop group.
So Japanese shit.
No. Oh my god.
Tell us about it next time, okay?
Will do.
Tell us about it. I'll tell you about the experience with Vikia, with the Vikia service as well. I'll tell you about that. That one's interesting in and of itself. Oh, maybe we'll talk about other articles. Oh yeah, that That fan sub article. Oh, geez. Yeah, I did forget about that one.
Yeah, there was that. I got a few articles.
Did you do a final install, or you just don't have one?
No, he just doesn't have one. He deferred
I
this week.
thought I'd save us some time here, even though there were
Okay,
some
well
weird bits and
now
bites.
he has that. Okay, you send me this article. This will be the last. This will be the end.
Why had a few articles?
All these false endings.
I know there were a bunch of articles. Otherwise,
Just like The Sopranos, man.
no, that's tough.
Just can't die.
No, we just couldn't. This was There's nothing like a well-organized show. This was nothing like an organized show.
Well, no, we can save them for next time.
I'm interested in this fan sub thing. What?
Okay, you want to go through this?
Put him on the spot.
No.
No. Okay. Well, let's hold that thought for next time then. Okay, because I think this is probably worth a longer read too. Because he did send this one to me. Let's worry about that next time we're on. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'll send everyone the article.
Oh, but now that I think about it, it's
great.
Remember we were talking about the IFF and stuff like that new con in Toronto.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
and stuff like that. Their
tickets are on sale
Their tickets are on sale now.
What does that stand for?
I
know it sounds very risque.
Let's talk about this.
Like a criminal organization.
Megami Nakajima got announced as a guest.
Yes.
So now I have some more incentive to go.
Well, at the moment, you can get the early bird tickets for $45 plus tax. I went and decided, what the hell, I'll buy some tickets the day after. They're $10 ones obviously sold out within a minute, but their $30 ones sold out less than a day. So I wonder how many they had.
So there are day passes now?
Well, no. Those are for the weekend. So those were El Cheapo weekend. They don't have day ones. You have to get them at the door.
Admittedly, Neil isn't up to date, so we'll
International Fantasy
Fan Fest.
Fan Fest.
We're gonna update
And
Neil.
it's like video games,
Neil later.
anime.
Just gonna update Neil.
Yeah, we'll update Neil in a bit. We'll update Neil afterwards.
It's
Okay.
at the Toronto Convention Center. So
Yeah, tickets are on sale. We'll probably be on. We'll probably have another episode talk a little bit more about that because that's Easter weekend. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk a little bit more about that.
That's a big weekend in the Anime Con thing because it's
weekend.
That's 420. That's why.
It's because most people will have those days off. Like, why is SakuraCon and Anime Boston happening the same weekend?
Why don't they do it in
It'll
May like
it'll be a big
people?
weekend.
Yep.
Let's talk about it next time, okay?
Slick website. Tickets are on sale for money.
Oh, he's looking it up.
Oh, this guy's coming.
Who's that guy?
That guy.
Who the hell is that guy?
That guy.
Yes,
That guy.
we'll look it up later.
That guy.
Okay.
I don't see. We don't know who this guy is.
And
That's
we'll
good.
never know. That's the end of the episode, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you next time. Digest 2 or episode 8. Pick one.